来第一条命，而且还没有死，连双魂又是一个双魂，非常的漂亮。风行开大射虚空，差了一点伤害虚空没死。正面骷髅王交命 ，SAG 技能都很残了。正面默克先交买，骷髅王打了个被动晕，破了一个大猪蚂蚁，连了一手复魂，最后一脚跳铲踩住，又一个大招大猪的虚空斩面，蚂蚁交盾。正面骷髅王输出，看一下手蚂蚁吃的一个情况，虚空也很危险。蚂蚁起身开启 BKB 打死默克，但是又个被晕，蚂蚁阵亡，圣剑掉地，骷髅王捡起。巨魔还在打大野，很危险，威没了，
死。
哎，皮队又来了，又踩住了个火女，人马反过来救，可能自己要被搭进去。
葫芦娃了，最终还是葫芦娃了。
巨魔战将复活赶到战场，看一下能不能收一个土猫，被滚了一下，飞了个变体攻击。拉比克偷的是魔免疫，不但偷了个焦土开起来，巨魔战将也要死。看到视野之后开魔免溜，钻
魔免钻了走，
踩住野怪出来，动狂击刃，技能全交，杀狗，
兄弟们来救
啊！狗这波顶不住了啊！
土猫来了，
土猫一看脸上5个人，
怎么办？
这波 SAG 胜在人多，
这波末日就上去卖的，因为他有9秒 BKB。
对，来了 BKB 大猪巨魔战将，再冲后面的人，巨魔已经死了，正面的话拉比克应该也顶不住。巨魔一死的话，团战已经是一个溃败了。
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Season 2 CN DPC Lower Div Tournament. I could read scripts correctly. I'm Party PD, your play-by-play caster, and Neff will be my co-caster for tonight. And already we have our draft underway, but for tonight, it's going to be LBZS versus Extreme Gaming. And then after that, there's an upper division game, eHome versus SAG. But that's not what we're here for right now at this exact moment in time. We're here to see some lower division Dota, and already we've got our picks out and ready to go. It's in the form of a Lion and the Void Spirit, and then responsing being the Tuskar and the Centaur.
Yeah. Let me make that bigger for everybody there at home. Unfortunately, they put me in charge of production. You sorry fellows that don't know what you're in for here.
Hey, I mean, when I did it last season, the number one thing that people were telling me is that I need to stop switching so much, because we had that scene where it was after the draft where they went to like another table and they like consulted at that table, and I'm like, well, I gotta switch back because I gotta consult at our table too.
Yeah, we do have a very wonderful table, and I gotta say, Pete, you proved me wrong. I said there's no way you're gonna read that script correctly. You might as well throw it out the window.
Well, here's the thing, though, is that me saying reading the script correctly was not part of the script.
Yeah. It's you know, enter scene. Pete fumbles with script, loses it under desk, and then just kind of wings it.
Oh, don't worry, sir. I have a mechanical desk now, so if it gets stuck under there, I could just raise it up and grab it.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Technology is incredible. I don't know what's with all these NA cashers and picking up standing desks. I'll sit in my chair all day, thank you very much. But let's talk about these picks here. Break it down for everybody. You know, they're not able to figure out anything without the assistance of Neff and Party Pete. We got Tusk and Centaur on the one side, Void Spirit and Lion on the other. I do like Centaur quite a bit against the Lion, being able to get onto the back line very quickly, be able to disengage from the enemies. Void Spirit pretty solid at grabbing people. The AA in the Tusk is interesting. There's a lot of aggression coming out here. The AA doesn't make a lot of sense unless you're playing against something like a Alchemist or a Morphling, I feel. So they might just be trying to discourage LBZS from picking that up with this AA grab.
I mean, with the fact that you've already revealed you're both mid laner and you're off lane, or your position 4, because you really want to still run 4 Lion, right? Because that's just how you do it. I know that it wasn't Void Spirit 5. It was Faceless Void 5 was becoming a thing. But
let's not even talk about that one.
We're not gonna see that one. But I don't think you want to run your Void Spirit as 5 either, so this is likely still their mid. But yeah, it kind of discourages them from picking an Alchemist right now, or the Morphling right now. Like, those two heroes are very susceptible to damage that comes from the AA, like you were talking about. Mm-hmm. But there's also ways to get around it just by having enough HP to survive in the first place. But there's so much burst damage already technically on the side of Extreme. Just getting a good double edge, or of course the good old Tuskar punch. Or, tag team, of course.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of counteractive damage that would already negate them going for that. And there's not really any other big regen heroes I can think of at the top of my head that would kind of be like, we don't want them to play this, and this is why we picked it.
Mm-hmm. The Morphling is the only thing I can think of like that one.
Death Prophet?
Death Prophet is banned out.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah. Well... They're stumped here on LBZS. I mean, even Troll Warlord, you don't really want to play against an Ancient Apparition because you want to heal yourself up. They actually opt to take the Undying, which is an interesting one. Yesterday, I was actually playing a pub and I ran Undying 3. It's a lot stronger than it was before. I don't think it'll be a 3 in this game. A lot of time you want to run it as a position 5. in a lane where your safe laner is a little bit weaker, more susceptible to getting gone on by the enemies. Multiple stacks of decays onto the enemies, and being able to turn fights around with the Soul Rip are very important in the early laning stage for heroes like Spectre, heroes like Anti-Mage, you know, struggling by themselves. So it's possible that they grab an Anti-Mage here. We'll probably see that banned out last on Extreme. It's not something you want to play against, especially given the fact that you just picked up a Medusa.
Well, they do end up banning the Terrorblade. That's still one of the other big heroes of this patch. That not really more of the Sunken Horse. And I was gonna think PL as well, but like I was thinking of the fact that you still want that AM ban, like you were talking about. But I mean, with this PL ban, I mean, I was gonna say that LBZS would actually take PL if they banned the AM, because it would have been such a perfect fit for them against this current lineup already. Obviously, the only downside would be trying to fight a Centaur.
Yeah. Fighting the Centaur is the PL. Not usually that fun. A lot of time he's going to build himself a Crimson Guard in that matchup, which is a little bit better, not because Crimson Guard feels a little any better, but because Vanguard right now feels very good on Centaur. A lot of people have been talking about that one, or so I have heard. Apparently,
well, yeah, a lot of the Vanguard rush coming out for a lot of the more beefy, needed offlaners. And not to mention, like, if people still run Lifestealer, which we already see in this ban anyway, Lifestealer is one of those heroes that oh no, it goes back, it's back to the HP now. It's not based on their total strength. Never mind. I'm just gonna Vanguard's a good item.
Yeah, I've heard Vanguard is good. Moxie told me that a lot of people are talking about it in Europe, but as we know, European Dota is a very weak region. And we are in China, the strongest region, as we saw in the last major.
Yeah, we don't really need any information from
Europe,
the from EU. They don't really give us any good sample sizes. I'd probably sooner take some information from Arkosh over EU, I'd say.
I hear.
I don't know. That might be pushing it too hard.
I heard rumors one of their players are currently resides in a faraway land, somewhat close to Europe. I think Slacks put it as the 7th layer of hell or something like that, the 7th ring.
Well, from what I remember, the 7th ring of hell is actually that area there.
Yeah, so they don't have fiber there either. Apparently their connection is quite weak. I believe it is a horse. But enough about Arkosh, enough about North America. Bring it back in. XG, how are they going to round this one out? They still need a mid. There's still spirits available in the pool. I think anybody who's got a gap closed for them, they don't necessarily need, given the fact they have Centaur, but outside of Stampede, they struggle to start fights.
Could be Lesh. Lena's already banned out. We've actually been seeing a light resurface of Lena mid. I still feel like a Lesh actually isn't that bad, but they go for the Storm Spirit instead. This is a good counteractive team fight. One of those heroes that actually does put up a good, decent fight against the Void Spirit in the mid. And it does offer roaming potential. Not really early, because Storm Spirit still likes to have those levels and all the items he possibly could while staying in the mid as long as he can. The only downside is that Storm is very susceptible to getting ganked on very early into the game. And with a Pangolier that will probably get 6 about the same.
Show me that anti-mage.
Well, maybe not about the same time, but I mean, you're gonna have the Lion, you're gonna have the Undying, and there it is.
Boom! There's the
AM is such a perfect pick for this game still because of the Storm Spirit's existence on top of it. It's another hero with an Arcane Bomb available.
Yeah.
To just kind of like turn this thing around. Not to mention the extra mana you get from actual Mana Shield now from the Medusa gives it another good arcane just devastation, more or less. So yeah, AM still a perfect fit here. The only downside is that it might be a little bit hard to get that Battle Fury up very quickly because the position 5 in the the position 4, pardon, in the offlane is going to be very, very strong, and you're going to be against the Centaur, which is also very, very strong against an AM lane.
But you know who makes them less strong? Undying, by taking away their strength here, Pete. You know, I say in this TO, he's very good at helping out laners who can't really exist on their own. Sometimes going to be playing pretty aggressive, but you're going to be able to negate some of that magic damage with Counterspell. Not to mention, my friend, stats are back, and that means Anti-Mage is back. You can just go attribute bonus now. You'll love to
I really
it.
want to see if they do actually go for the just spec stats early build. Because I remember that was sometimes if a game was going real good for your AM, you actually just click stats.
Yeah.
Very early.
Well,
you get 1 in blink and 1 in mana break, and then you get stats.
1 because at the first level you get like 26% magic resistance. There was just no point in putting multiple points into your spell shield. You way tankier from putting extra points in the stats. You'd also farm a little bit faster. Now, you kind of want to level up your blink because you want it maxed out when you got your battle fury, so you got your farm efficiency and all that dumb stuff. Stats have higher growth rates and whatnot now too, but I'm excited to see some potential stats. But enough from us. People want to see video games. Let's toss you guys back into the game. Look at that. Beautiful.
I love that transition because it's just like, I know I have exactly 2.7 seconds until I could say something after seeing it. Well, it looks like the ward fight's going to be kind of a given, actually. They find the ward in the mid. Or at least LBZ do. They already dropped theirs. Looks like this very aggressive dire one already thrown out.
This mic is super low compared. Oh, we can turn up the juice a little bit. Give me one moment.
Neff is quieter than me? That's never happened in this lifetime. Holy moly. I get to be louder than Neff himself? Easy.
No, don't get ahead of yourself.
Dude, I'm just so... What do you mean, just mute me? That's not how you solve the problem.
Don't let him know.
No, he's scrolling through. I'm looking at him about to hit the mute button. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, it looks like there's going to be at least a little bit of a tussle for this top rune fight here. At least Cat U just floating around here. Well, it looks like AM is actually going to grab this rune as well. It's going to be a 3-1 for LBZS to start this off. No team fights either, and immediately the sentry has been deployed in the mid, and another ward being, or not another ward, a ward being claimed for the Void Spirit here. So that's a lot of very good early, not gold, but early XP. He likes that quite a bit.
It should adjust the audio levels just enough for us to be about even now.
We hope so, that is.
Yeah, we hope so. Of course,
it wouldn't be Dota 2 without some sort of audio issue.
That's not true. I mean, the audio for in-game is not great, but I imagine this point's a little bit outdated. Twitch actually did something to upgrade their audio. You can actually have more than 6,000 bitrate streaming. I think you could double the audio quality on Twitch now. Anyways, we're going to talk about video games, not broadcasting settings. Storm Spirit against Void Spirit. Oh, actually, Medusa dropping very low. Yeah, it doesn't have that first point in the mana shield yet. That one is going to be pretty important. Cat U is playing very aggressive here prior to him getting that first point in the mana shield. I really like what he's doing. Centaur getting zoned out the earlier levels by this Undying, but he's going through a lot of mana very quickly. So, Anti-Mage's early lane is going to be secured, but he's going to have to suicide to creeps or something like that on this Undying if he wants to be able to keep up this pressure.
Still just going suicide as Undying, though. Like, when you run out of mana, you just go run at the towers. I remember that used to be the big strat for a long time there. You just kind of run out of mana, and then you just run at a tower.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're going to end up doing that strat anymore. Back up in top lane, double disarm, actually. This is a lot of damage on OQ. If he finds another one, he's actually just dead. But he's actually going to take 2 shots at the tower here, and it looks like, actually, Aqua is almost going to get the kill there, actually. Irving does end up hitting a salve for the 1 second there and will be able to get out, at least for the time being here. And I mean, Cat U doesn't have a salve himself. I believe they've already used it, so he might have to walk to base. Unless he's got... No, there's a courier already coming in.
Yeah. He's going to be fine.
There's no salve on that courier either.
Unfortunate. Things are less fine.
Yeah, that's not exactly great. It's just going to be Irving quelling trees, hoping that it was a tango.
Yeah. He can dream. So he's going to sit here pretty far back, just inside EXP range. This gives Medusa a chance to free farm. She's going to be quite happy about this one. Cat U taking a bit of harass here. And the Storm's gone 1-1-1. He's playing very aggressive into the Void Spirit here. Nice dodge. Ends up walking right back in the Remnant regardless, though. Losing a lot of HP here. He's going to have to move back, grab himself that bounty. I mean, he's going to miss out in a full wave of EXP.
Aqua in trouble here. They do throw out a swash. Irving trying to get the last click before the freeze. He will end up getting the kill. I don't know if Medusa's actually able to get this. He's actually going to lose his courier here. And that's an extra little bit of gold. No, Irving, do not dive. He's getting pretty low here from creeps alone, though. Cat U is going to go deny himself to creeps.
Yep.
Irving going to deny himself to the tower.
Yep. Before the Ancient Apparition managed to get there, AA trying to snag himself a little bit of XP, but he doesn't manage to find it. Undying, not as able to zone this anti-mage out of the lane. That's something we were talking about. He's, sorry, the center out of the lane. He's pretty low on mana right now.
He's already got the HP ring, though, for this AM, so he's not terribly behind. But you can actually see this with the CS is that it's a 3 CS difference with, I mean, a 2 denied difference. But it's just, the Centaur can do literally whatever he wants. He could walk into the lane. He's got the reverse armor and everything like that. And then on top of that, whenever he wants, he could just go ahead and drop a double edge. And it's pretty much good to go. I mean, now you see that they're trying to do contesting in mid here. They're going to throw out some runes fights, but no crazy going on here. The only person actually not benefiting from this is Storm, who does not get his bottle refilled. Thank God, actually, Storm is playing Storm as well. That's not going to be very hard to sort of like navigate or work through there.
You saying Storm Spirit's lower skill than Void Spirit here?
What? No, I'm saying Storm himself is playing Storm because that way it's much easier to say his name.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No. I'm definitely not saying that the Void Spirit is lower skill. I'm saying the Void Spirit usually does not win a mid lineup versus Storm.
Yeah. Especially when Storm is on his namesake hero.
Exactly.
Man grabbed himself a bounty rune, heals himself up. I started rotating up there at like the 5-minute rune. I'm not sure if that was because he's used to 5 minutes still, or he just happened to be rotating up there around that time.
I believe he was still in the river trying to confirm the top rune for good old water rune there. But 1 more minute until we have the combat runes, as well as 1 more minute until we have the bounty runes. Let's see here. The Centaur is beelining for that Vanguard. He's already got the big HP ring, and he's going to go in for the Vitality Booster afterwards. So he's already pumping that that gold out there. I mean, the Centaur has had a relatively free time in this offlane here. He's sitting 29-2 in comparison to the opposing offlaner of 19-1.
He's doing pretty well for himself. You can't really zone him out the same way. Centaur's got a huge strength growth rate. He's sitting on 2 gauntlets and a quelling blade as well. Yeah, he now has the gold for this Vanguard. It was made, the Vitality Booster, 100 gold cheaper, meaning it comes online even faster. Vanguard historically has always been a very good item early game, and now that it's cheaper than ever with reduced costs of Vitality Booster, the fact that you don't need a stout shield, there's no recipe for it, it comes online that much faster. Karker just ends up
dying in the mid, I believe, actually, just getting picked off there by the Void Spirit. We didn't really get to see it, but I mean, you could easily predict what happened. Throws out a remnant, hits the pulse, finds the jump, clean up, and there's another hero there anyway, so Lion stunned to fall through.
Everything's forced to get back here. But yeah, Centaur doing pretty well for himself. Closest anti-mage in that was Storm Spirit. Gonna get picked up. I want to bring him in.
I believe Storm actually has a haste rune as well, so if he... No, he didn't. He lost the haste rune, I believe, maybe during a purge of some sort. Does end up trying to find this jump on Irving here, and Irving will go down for this. So they do manage to claim 2 at the expense of a lot of Storm's mana here. He does have, I believe, 2 more bottle charges left, excluding the one he just consumed, so only 1. And there's going to be a bottle refill on the Void Spirit as well.
Yeah. Storm now with a level advantage here. I'm pretty happy about those kills. Tips out to Cat U. All right. This is not a man you want to anger. He's holding back right now. I've seen Cat U make some sick plays.
So the reason why they tipped Cat U is because he saw that he dropped the... He didn't drop the bottle, but he saw that he tried to return the bottle and drop the charge onto Void Spirit, but it actually...
Consumed one?
Was just at a nick of time and just burned the charge.
That's why the tip came out. All right.
I mean, I highly doubt that's why it is, though. There's
it might be. It's it probably picked up on that.
Well, with that that vision ward being destroyed in the mid here, you do see that LBZS are going to smoke up as Lion, or at least Undying, will stay in the mid while the other 2 heroes will rotate to the top. Void Spirit, very capable here. And it's going to be a good kill on this Medusa if they get it. They jump in, the Remnant's available. They bring him in the Remnant, but the follow-up stun. The Hex is available too. They're going to have to do it with the Centaur Stampede. will push them back for the time being. They are going to go back in, actually. The snowball is there from Karker, but Karker, only level 3 Storm Spirit, is here, though. He's going to deal some damage, but out comes a disarm, but they will still find this kill on the Void Spirit.
Yeah,
however, they did expend 4 TPs for this, but it's still good at the end of the day to get these early kills with Storm.
Easily worth it. You rotate in there, you save your Medusa, you pop that Stampede, she gets away, you turn around and get the Void Spirit kill. That sets them back a lot. Now they're up 2k XP at this point. You can't afford to lose your early game like this on, especially your mid laner. Like, your anti-mage is not going to be contributing to these fights. He wants to be coming online like the 28-minute mark and starting to close out the game around that point. If your Void Spirit isn't making plays, not able to pop off and create space for your anti-mage, you're in a very bad place overall.
And the plays overall are just whether or not the AM can, like you're saying, get the farm up in time. He's sitting at 3,500 at the moment, but, I mean, so is this, I was going to say, so is this Abaddon. This is a Centaur, sir. So is this Centaur, and then, like you were saying, you don't want to be out-farmed. And, OQ is doing exactly that, not to mention getting the Possessed Mask, a tier 1 item that still, for some reason, has not been nerfed or removed.
Yep.
They removed Necronomicon, but no!
Yeah,
Possessed Mask, literally the best tier 1 item in Dota 2.
Yeah. They got rid of Royal Jelly, though. It's a real tragedy. Shout out to Royal Jelly. You were a real one.
Every time I got a Royal Jelly, I was never able to see or feel the difference. Just knew it was there.
You feel the difference by not having to buy like 20 extra clarities throughout the game. That's the difference. It felt so good on a carrier at mid that like spam spells inside the jungle. It spammed out waves. Like, mana regen is so valuable. Royal Jelly was just busted, man.
I mean, I took it on Skyrath every time.
I'm sure you did on your support Skyrath.
No, my mid Skyrath. No, not
better.
the support Skyrath.
Yeah, that certainly was not a grief.
No, I was mid Sky.
Yeah. You play.
I'm the one who farmed the jungle. You know what the rule is. The guy who finds it gets the first charge.
I'm not sure that's how it works, but I'll take your word for it.
Totally how it works.
Yeah. Bottom lane.
I saw RTZ do it one time.
Yeah, yes. The good old R-Tour did it. Now, bottom lane, anti-mage, 1,000 net worth behind the Medusa. Not really where you want to be. He normally ends up popping off a little bit after he gets that battlefield. Getting there is going to be a little bit of a pain, though. Centaur, they're not really able to zone from the lane anymore. He's doing quite well for himself. Broom handle
forced to go to the jungle for a little bit there. Yeah, the broom handle is going to be nice for MS.
I'm curious what the Centaur is going to build right away. He'll probably get a Blink Dagger, being able to gap close and get on top of the Lion a little bit easier in these team fights, or get on top of the Undying, blow him up before he's able to get some heals off, is pretty important for what they're doing. Lion is probably priority target number 1 in these team fights. It's not going to be Pangolier. It's not going to be Void Spirit. They want to be able to get rid of the disables at the start of these fights. Nice find. Fairy Trinket on the Void Spirit.
The other S tier tier 1 item.
Yep. I mean,
I don't think that needs to be nerfed, though. I think that's fine how it is.
You think it's fine how it is?
Oh, 100%.
Disagree. That item is busted.
Neff, I'm a Skyrath player. That's why I'm saying it's good. Come on. It looks like bot lane. They are going to try for this Centaur here. They do have the stun available. The Remnant fall through if they need it. A-Blast goes through defensively, but not going to need it. It's not going to do anything here. AM end up doing the Mana Void. Get the finger kill as well. A lot of stuff expended for him, but that's, again, another good kill. The AM's been behind, and now he could get a little bit of catch-up. He can be in the lane a little bit safer. Well, I say that as both AA and Tusk are invis down in the bot.
Yeah.
And this is Irving actually farming the lane.
Yeah, but you know this is exactly. Oh, Xiao Fu.
Oh, top lane Xiao Fu. He's got
to commit a bit more mana. He'll get
heal. No.
Yeah. And he finishes up that Orchid at the exact same time that he gets that kill.
Parker
coming on to Irving, and he's just gonna die.
Snowball, and yeah, the Ice Blast will find him. The burn damage to follow through from Aqua.
He forces
They'll get the kill on the Pango.
Well, the Stampede didn't necessarily have to be used there, but the fact that they did probably feels pretty good. So, one less thing for them to be worried about for a short period of time. And they'll rotate here for this bottom tier 1 tower. Look at that. Tanking up this tower. Nothing to worry about. This is the power of the Vanguard.
as well as a chipped vest.
Yeah, you'll
Literally the best item you could have got for your centaur.
Yeah, you start punching him, you just break your hands on the centaur right now with the chipped vest in return. You hit him, you take like 70
hand.
damage.
All right, I like it. Top or bot lane, you do see there's a little bit of a tussle going on here. They will throw out a tombstone, but I mean, Aqua will end up going down here. Good tombstone though. That's I think he's fine with the tombstone going down for that. They know they can't really do a team fight for a little while now. Well, I say that, of course, you know, you could always just flesh golem, or you could just go in and zip in a storm. Speaking of storm, zipping in the mid.
You're right. They struggled to take a team fight. That nice save there by Katyu. This is why you need to jump this line. He's going to be able to stop any aggression, you from jumping on him. 20 minutes mark comes around. This line is actually going... You're going to see the shard come out for the first time this game, Pete. I don't think...
I've already seen the shard.
In a competitive game?
Yeah.
Not
casting? In CN, but I have.
Okay. I mean, it was the first game that you've been casting, because I'm pretty sure I've been on with you every single time. We haven't seen the shard together yet.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Though every single time line's been picked, you've been theory crafting if he's going to pick the shard.
It owns. It's going to be hilarious.
Well, it looks like, speaking of owning, they will find this kill on Katyu. And Zhaofu getting close. He walked back into the burn there. I think he might have been fine, actually.
It's hard to say. He was amping his magic damage a little bit by sitting inside that ice vortex. He might have gone down anyway. I didn't see the amount of ticks that was left on him when he did go down. Either way, not ideal.
Well, 2 for 1.
Yep. Now,
and this Medusa has a Manta already. He is out farming the crap out of this AM.
Yeah. There is
1,300 gold difference.
There's one small concern here is that Medusa is slightly worse right now in the matchup against Anti-Mage than she used to be. And that's due to the fact that Divine Rapier was nerfed. A lot of time it's an item that you don't mind picking up on Medusa. You're very tanky. It gives you True Strike. You don't really want to build up an MKB. It doesn't give you enough damage for the amount of gold that it costs. So if Anti-Mage ends up building himself up a Butterfly, Medusa really struggles to fight into him. But they're on a pretty good pace to win this game right now, despite the fact they're playing a Storm Spirit and Medusa into the Anti-Mage. Oh, Storm Spirit,
Storm, hexed up, and he's going to get hit with the finger. And he will go down, extra finger.
There's the I told you, Katyu remembers. There it is, tips him back. He'll wait in the grass as long as it takes.
Oh, that's good.
Shouldn't have tipped him at the start there, Storm. Rookie mistake.
Now he knows he's gonna get hunted the whole entire game. The sole purpose of Lion is hunt the Storm.
Katyu's in his head now.
Well, they do find a roll, and it looks like Irving will find the kill. It's actually gonna be Katyu to find it. They will find a pick on the support. Karkar needs to be careful here. He is by himself. There is no roll. We just saw it. Katyu has just been mana draining the same creep, but still. Katyu's been hunting. And that's the power of the Lion. A lot of people are like neglecting Lion in all brackets right now. I don't say neglecting it really in the fact that nobody is picking it. I'm saying neglecting it because people are picking it and not banning it.
When I was on panel in North America 2 days ago, Trent said that Lion across all regions had a 36 or 37% win rate. So I think based on that, people, they were picking him a lot in the major. Cast range was nerfed a little bit after that, so he's not feeling quite as strong, but people are just picking him for the sake of picking him because he feels like a good disabler regardless of whether or not he's good in the game. I think here it's very good. You have to be a bit more careful with your positioning than in the last patch, though, because the cast range was nerfed.
I mean, it's like the equivalent of running the Shaman in the past, right? Like, you picked up Shaman because Hex wasn't really nerfed or at all. It was just like Shaman was being shadow buffed, more or less, just by not getting nerfed the whole entire time, and then people started spamming Shadow Shaman support. It's first pick. Yeah. Top lane, a blast. Very simple cleanup on Zhaofu. Might be able to find MS here. Karkar with no Blink Dagger quite yet, plus the Night Vision, not going to help him there. What is this? The Yules for Pango, I believe?
Yule is pretty important. They're playing against the Storm Spirit. He's got an Orchid. So, doesn't want to get himself silenced in these team fights. Wants to be able to get
and it just Oh, Blink immediately out on the Pango here. They do have the tag team in the punch, and they will find the kill. And they will use the Centaur Stampede to try to get away, while OQ just wails into Cat U. But with that, Yule's freshly revealed. Or not freshly revealed. I believe that's been the Yules on the Void Spirit. But with the Yules, they will negate the team fight. BKB almost done for Storm, though.
Yeah, Scotty almost done this.
Oh my goodness, this game!
Yeah, they're hitting a bunch of timings pretty quickly here on Extreme. LBZS, they come into this, they're definitely the favored team by a little bit. And Teammate's getting close to this Mantis style, though. That's when he's going to be able to start to fight against these heroes on Extreme. Right now, against the Storm Spirit, he's really worried about getting silenced, so he's going to struggle. Catyu
did
find the
he
stun.
Will go ahead. Throw up his own personal pipe there. Just gets stunned up by the line. But Catyu in trouble. Snowball. AA Blast goes through. They find him. They will lose Karker though at the same time. But Storm Spirit zipping in. They will find the silence on the Void Spirit. They already know that the Yules is not available, and they find this kill. Roll trying to put out some damage, but Storm able to negate almost all of it here. He starts the TP out, but Aeonid jumps in to get a recursive stun. The Yules is going to be there, and the Arcane Explosion goes out. Storm actually dies to the Roshan, however, and they will find the kill on Aiden while Zalfu goes down at the same time.
Nice play there by Storm, walking into that Roshan suiciding.
I mean, what other choice did you have there? I think he was still trying to get the TP off, but as soon as he realized that he was in front of the AM and the AM had his ult available, well, that made things go south pretty quickly here. And you can already see with the net worth change for AM himself that he is getting closer and closer to that Medusa, and they can't be doing fights like this. Even if Storm wasn't claimed by an actual person and just killed by Roshan, he still died. He's not farming on the map right now.
Yeah, his presence on the map is pretty important. That was a really nice play there by him. It was a nice try there by Pangolier. The Yule's coming off, interrupting his TP. But the moment, recognizing that he was just basically dead there, had to do what he could. So AM not getting either the gold or the AoE gold for that one. It's very big.
See Scotty. Ooh. Scotty's up now, by the way. So we do see that the big timing for OOQ is there. The Chrysalis will be next. 3-man smoke, 4-man smoke. No vision ward to reveal it. They're just going to walk up the hill as the scan is not revealing anything here. And now they find it with the scan. Ain is going to be the first to reveal. They are going to go find Zalfu. They drop a stun, but there's no detection available for them as the snowball goes through. And now the detection is there. They find the kill on Zalfu and likely to walk into Roche with this pickoff. And I think with the Undying Dead, no tombstone is available to really contest this. They have to let it go.
You can contest this. You've got Pangolier.
Contest it, yes, but
successfully contested. They've got Pangolier.
Exactly. Yeah.
They can do it if they realize that they're doing it, but they did not. They scan it out afterwards, but at this point it's too late.
Yeah, they're running at it though. They drop the scan like you were talking about. They end up getting it, and they're right outside the pit if they can find a reveal. But a haste rune is going to be out onto this Pangolier. He's going to get out of that one. They might find the void. Jumps to the low. They did not able to find it. Wants the bounding rune.
Scan expended. Unfortunately, we're a little bit slow on that one. With the Pangolier, they would have been able to just Rolling Thunder up inside the pit. I mean, it lasts longer than ever before. We've just been able to run a train. They don't necessarily need Undying as much as Tombstone would help in a Roche fight. But,
not to mention roll up,
yeah,
which will be done very soon here as well. That is a shard that actually is OP.
Mm-hmm.
There are very few shards in this Dota 2 world that are beyond strong. That is beyond strong.
Beyond strong. Is that a Dragon Ball Super reference?
Neff, you know I don't watch that many animes.
Fair enough. I figure I'd take a swing.
I think if I did watch Dragon Ball, I'm pretty sure I watched it in English on like Adult Swim. Well,
right, whatever. You're ignored.
Or immediately getting removed from that game.
Yeah,
that fight there.
They did have vision out onto the line as he was TPing out, but no stuns to interrupt him, so they just let him go. Didn't even try chasing him into the trees. These next couple of minutes here, while the Medusa has the Aegis, are going to be crucial to Extreme. Anti-Mage, he's not going to be able to kill the Medusa twice while she's got this Aegis. In fact, right now she's going forward. It's Daedalus and Butterfly. She is certain that she's going to be able to end the game in the next couple of minutes here. If they thought this was going to get drawn out, they'd end up building the MKB on the Medusa. Xiaofu, mid lane, he's going to end up going down.
Yeah,
he doesn't even commit the Orchid.
Very, very easily there. Well, DD rune, that's kind of why.
Yeah. But he figures, all right, if anybody else comes in, I don't really need to pop this Orchid on the Undying. I've run the numbers. I can do maths. I'll just silence.
I can do maths.
I'll silence Void Spirit if he comes in on me. So.
Well, it looks like they're at least going to try to trade some tower pressure here as the bot tower does fall. Outpost is going to be taken. You see 2 hard TPs to the top lane now. MS already cleaned up a lot of these camps, so he's just going to have to leave here.
Yep. Setting
The rest of Extreme are floating around. They could they get a kill on him if they smoke and find the jump?
They were trying to bait out Storm there for a moment. They figured, all right, they'll probably try to rotate on him, but I think Extreme are more than happy to wait things out for these next couple of minutes. They don't want to fight into this Aegis. Again, this is, I think, you need to be the most careful right now in the next 2 minutes here. Be on, like, the most defensive you've been the entire game. They're getting close to a couple of these item timings as well. Aghanim Scepter almost done here. On the Void Spirit. Anti-Mage really needs his Abyssal Blade. If you get on top of the Storm Spirit or the Medusa, get a nice mana void off after burning the majority of their mana, they're in a very good place.
Well, there comes the Ags now. So this is going to be the big key turn point of the fight here. A minute and a half left on the Aegis, though.
I'm going to be honest. I think that you should have picked up Butterfly before Daedalus here on the Medusa. You know, the evasion you get being able to dodge out the majority of like some of these anti-mage's attacks. You're not getting your mana burned down as fast. Sure, you're not going to blow up targets like the Void Spirit if you get the stun off on them, but the survivability against anti-mage I think is super important.
Well, is there evasion on the Quicksilver Amulet?
No.
Oh, then I don't know then. Anyway, it looks like they are going to be able to find the kill on the Centaur here. They roll him in, but he will end up dropping Stampede, which runs just as fast as the Rolling Boulder. Looks like Irving getting here with that Chrysalis there.
Yeah. The damage from it is nice for that reason. I mean, grabbing the Pangolier, but they're definitely not able to stand your ground as much. No Rolling Thunder means that a little bit harder to initiate, but putting on the pressure with this Aegis, they got another 49 seconds of this. They know they'd struggle to take down this Medusa twice if they try to commit onto her super hard.
I mean, they could see that he's sitting on this Daedalus recipe. Like they know that he plans to literally highball this game to the end right now. He will again go onto the Centaur, very low, no finger available. They do have mana drain, but he will be able to get out of that one this time. And they can't really push this high ground, not to mention every time that they do try to make a good push, the AM is going to be in your alternate lane just clicking on the creeps.
Yeah, they're worried about anti-mage returning as well. Their Aegis is almost expired, so they're forced to back up now. They are able to kill Medusa a single time. If anti-mage decides to commit, he's got Abyssal Blade.
Yeah, so likely with the Abyssal Blade pickup, that would be the scenario at which he would end up taking the W there. Aegis has expired, though. Looks like Medusa's bringing in something. I don't actually quite know what it would be, because he has all the parts.
He doesn't have the Demon Edge.
Right. So what's he calling on the courier?
I think he's just
he's bringing it over to the... He's bringing it to the shop and just going to leave it there.
Yep.
Well, LBZS smoked up. This is the fight that they want to get. They throw down a ward, and they actually see it with the sentry, but no vision ward to see it overall. Dire will drop a scan. They don't find anybody in the back lines here on top of their ward. This smoke is going to be all for naught, as OOQ is just in the mid lane again. Well, I say all for naught, though. They might be able to get this bot tower, at least for a trade. The AM was revealed this whole time. And, I mean, you see Aenid's just going to walk into the mid for a little while.
Oh my god, look at that damage he's doing to the tower.
Stun. They are going to Rolling Boulder him, actually. They do have Stampede available as soon as he's out of his permanently stun-locked form. Trying to get out. He is going to get silenced up again here. Most likely Karker, the only one to fall here. They will expend it still. The Tombstone. They do find a two-man stun, but it's on the high ground. There's no ward to scout it. They will find a Remnant. Actually, this could be the Death Vainted here. They do have the Glimmer Cape, though. Storm jumps in, but he's going to get Abyssal Bladed immediately. Stunned up. Storm has the BKB on Resistance, trying to make a fleet call. But he is going to be able to find one, and they stone form the Pangolier. But the finger does go out, and they will find the kill on Aenid there. Everyone just starts TPing away, but Aqua is going to be the first one to be found. The second one actually going to be the Medusa, is going to be hexed up immediately. They do find the kill on Cat U. Here's the Daedalus, not here yet, but the Chrysalis doing just enough damage anyway. They are going to maybe find 2 here, but OOQ, he's trying to have a trade-off with MSS here. The buyback is out from the line, but they are going to be able to finally put down this Medusa. Storm does zip in, though, as they want to try to get the kill, but Storm with no mana gets bashed immediately. He's going to go down too.
Oh, that's it. They lose the game off of this one, Pete. They tried to stand their ground. Storm Spirit, he almost went down the first time, just barely managed to get out. They couldn't get out fast enough. Cat U, noticing that the Medusa was like nowhere to be seen, she had to be TPing out somewhere, jump on the back line and managed to get the disable off on her. That was such a clutch jump there by Cat U. Oh, this man is a psychopath with how aggressive he plays. I love him.
It was like you said very early on to the game. You do not taunt Cat U. He will come back with a vengeance, and so he has, as he's been making some incredible plays like you were talking about.
Yeah, that jump in by Storm at the end there was pretty questionable. I mean, you'd end up getting bashed immediately, sure, but that Medusa was already gone. I think Storm just recognizing the importance of this Medusa kill, not being able to afford to give her up. She tried to stand her ground and fight. I think with a Butterfly, they would have been able to do it. The Daedalus, sure, you would pump it out more damage on the anti-mage, but the evasion might have given you enough, evasion. The Butterfly would have given you enough evasion to be able to negate a lot of this mana burn damage, get off another Mystic Snake, heal up your mana, and actually stand your ground and fight this AM.
And now it's just, now they're behind as a result of it. I mean, do you still go for the Butterfly then? Because you see he's actually going Satanic. All right. I mean, he doesn't want to go for the evade. Okay, there's the shard. Are you happy now?
Unhoomst?
Lion.
Yeah.
He just mana drained. Did you not see it?
Yeah, my bad. Sorry. It's actually pretty important.
How
this
dare
game.
you?
It's really important this game, man.
I give you credit for proving me wrong, and you look the other way.
Absolutely. I'm just trying to watch everything that's going on in this game, but again, the Storm Spirit jumps you, right? Or tries to jump you on the back line. Hit you with, blow you up. A lot of the damage is going to be magical. He can't Orchid you. Ooh, nice dodge.
Well,
I'm not sure if he's survived
He
this
might be dead here, yeah.
Yeah. Orchid comes out immediately when he comes down, so no chance to get off his Q swashbuckle out of there. But yeah, this is what you're going to be doing these team fights on Lion. You pop your Hex, or your Earth Spike, you mana drain the Medusa. Storm Spirit is wanting to jump on you to stop you from getting off another spell, stop you from getting off Finger of Death. He's the most important target in these fights for the Storm. Suddenly Storm can't do anything against you. You're magic immune until the Medusa's dead. Or until you somehow get bashed up through your magic immunity. Storm just doesn't have the jump on the Lion when he's got this Aghanim Shard.
Well, I was going to say, he did find Void Spirit there, but aggressive Yules is going to make it not possible for this engagement. They do TP back. They are going to smoke directly on top of a ward. Oh. Maybe not. No. Okay, no. No smoke. It looked like that was going to be the smoke play, though. 100%. Cat U with a Blink Dagger now, by the way, after that last transaction. He's going to be able to turn it around.
I'm excited for it.
I mean, he's been able to put out a lot just without a Blink Dagger alone, and it's crazy. The Blink Dagger is honestly the best thing about it over low. But anyway, Roshan, it's time. Extreme. They need this Rosh. They need it now. It's a fresh Rosh too, so it's got no extra armor, no extra HP.
Yeah,
it does have a shard.
Yes, I'm curious as to who's gonna grab this one. Medusa already has hers.
You really should give it to the Storm, I think.
The shard?
Because what? Isn't that the Electric Dance Party?
Electric Rave?
Yeah.
Dance Party? Yeah. I don't think your Overload bounces at 25 with allies now, though. You give them all Electric Rave, but they don't get the Overload bounce.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, looks like they give it to the Tusk to get the good old-fashioned sigil, which is I have never been a fan of Sigil as a Tusk player myself, too. It's not a spell that I really grew attached to.
I think it's kind of cute. You get your cosmetics back? You were complaining about that to me before. You said, I've got these hats, Neff. Hats I can't wear.
Neff, you need to understand, I've got a million hats I can't wear because you can't wear more than one set at a time.
Maybe that's the next update. Pete can put on multiple hats.
That'd be perfect. They've got a hat in TF2 that is multiple hats.
See, look at this. Storm just can't jump him while he's got the Banshee immunity. Nobody can.
Yes, but you can run up to him and punch him as Tusk.
You can, but you can't target him with Snowball to gap that distance.
But you could just blink onto him or Force Staff.
Catyu's got
Snowball to a creep that's right by him.
You think Catyu won't get the blink off before then? Have you seen this man's reflexes?
Well, you say that, though. Does get jumped on immediately and will get brought down. And since he bought the blink, he's got no buy. Although I believe he bought in the last team fight anyway. Disarm's going to be there.
I jinxed him.
I pushed the tower down here. You did indeed, as the tombstone gets destroyed. They will continually disarm, but the fresh purchase of this Lotus Orb out onto the Centaur is going to dispel it every time off cooldown.
Yep. Catyu is indeed crucial for these fights, though. So without him up, I'm not sure they're going to be able to do anything. They bring in the Medusa, but it is not close enough for them to want to commit. You can kill her once, getting her twice here, putting yourself out of position without getting the kill off onto her just isn't worth it.
Jump in with the zip as well. The A-Blast goes through. That's a dead Void Spirit. He has to buy back immediately. You do see that Irving's trying to get something down in this, but MS trying to jump in, but immediately responding with Stone Gaze here. And MS, he has to jump away. Backdoor protection's up on the tower, though.
Yeah, and you lose so much.
I mean, you got 2.5 minutes of this Aegis left, too. They could still just turn around and just reassume their position of dominance.
Yeah, this game a lot rougher than it has to be. I mean, giving up that Aegis, Catyu getting caught a little bit out of position there makes the team fight too difficult to take. Medusa now with the butterfly as well. Anti-Mage going to struggle to blow him up. AM going to have to pick up an MKB here. I mean, you can't afford to have this Medusa dodge out your attacks. You need to be able to burn 100% of her mana as quickly as possible. But
AM is sitting on 5.6k with no plans on buying something else right now.
yeah, he'll probably get the MKB. You need it.
I mean, it's buyback, right? Does he hasn't bought back a single time.
Yeah. He'll probably need a buyback, but he'll get the BKB. Oh, sorry, the MKB.
Oh, the butterfly is up.
Yeah.
Level 25 on Medusa as well, I believe, as this is the fatter of the books. Oh, it's very close.
Yeah. How long we got left? Another minute and 20 seconds. This is enough time for them to take another Rax here. Sped up even quicker by this Medallion of Courage, or sorry, Solar Crest. This item is very broken at the moment. You got some decent cast range right now on the Lion. Hit him with it. Yeah, Disarm
like they will.
slowing this down as much as they can, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to buy themselves a full 54 seconds here.
Roll's going to be there. They jump out. They do lose a lot of HP off of this, but the snowball's going to be there. They've got 48 seconds, I believe, left on this Aegis. They're trying to burn down Medusa as much as possible, but in they go. The finger goes out, trying to burn down the first life. They will end up breaking the first life. They will find this kill on the Undying. Storm Spirit zipping in and out. They find the 2 kills on the supports, but OOQ, he's not done yet. He just wants these buildings slow and steady. I mean, with all the disarms as well, it's making this a lot harder. Storm zips in. The silence is going to be there. It's going to land on 2. They want to get more. The Duels is going to be there defensively, though. It's extreme. They're wailing into these heroes. The slowest damage is available. Again, the disarm just making everything impossible for them.
They committed too much on that first kill of Medusa. I mean, she was going to lose that Aegis in just a moment anyway, but they threw too much off on her. You couldn't afford to use that Mana Void. It just wasn't worth it at that point. Storm Spirit is, or Storm, yeah, just popping that cheese, him getting to commit super far forward. They couldn't afford to give up that last Rosh, and they did. These kind of mistakes, it might just cost LBZS the game. No, they can't commit to far forward without Lion. Undying. I mean, Pangolier did an amazing job in that last team fight. He kept the Medusa controlled for like first 10 seconds. It wasn't enough. Ninja Gear. Tier 4 items coming out. Leveler now on Centaur. I mean, that's going to go to the way of Medusa. You're going to be able to clean up in these team fights super quickly, take down these buildings even faster.
Does it work on the reflect damage? Like Leveler's bonus damage on Centaur from his from Retaliate?
No, I don't think so. I think just auto attacks. But it's Medusa that's going to be holding it. She's going to be the one sitting up on the high ground, baiting out the enemy team. But she's tanky enough to actually survive them going on her. The Centaur as well as the Solar Crest, so he's going to drop it on her while she wheels away at the tower. They only have one left to take as well. If they get Mega Creeps, you know, you will be able to hold out for a little while against them, but it just becomes too slow to push in these waves. They're not going to be able to survive them. They smoke up LBZS. They're going to run into them here. This could just decide everything. If they get a good jump on the AM,
they find one, but they get the reverse stun on the Cat U thanks to the Lotus. They do end up getting this kill out onto the AA. He buys back immediately just to throw out the snowball. They find OOQ actually with an arcane explosion from MS, and he actually finds with the double kill with this as well. AA ball goes through, but Storm with no mana, he can't sit back in, and they are going to find this kill on Aiden as well. Extreme, they lose 4 here, and they have to TP back to the base immediately.
This is exactly what you need. You can't sit on your high ground waiting for Extreme to take the fight into you. They have the Medusa. You've been waiting for them to make plays with this Aegis. They had this window where they wouldn't be able to fight around Roshan on their terms on Extreme, and took advantage of there on LBZS. Getting on top of that Medusa was huge. That Mana Void connecting, doing so much damage as well. This is something that should have happened a while ago. I feel like, you know, this game goes late enough, it turns back around. Medusa has the advantage, sure. Anti-Mage, you know, he showed how strong he is against Medusa right now, but what she's done another item, I think Anti-Mage is going to be able to carry this game by himself anymore. But look at MS, biding his time, waiting, chance to get on top of Medusa, connects with that Rolling Thunder onto her, stuns her up initially. Enough mana goes to almost nothing, and he blows her up. I mean, this is why the MKB is super important. If she evades any of these attacks, she has significantly more mana, and she just doesn't go down. Storm Spirit as well is forced to leave. Centaur gets blown up now too.
Well, the buyback is available. Obviously, you're not going to buy back with 8 seconds left, though. And 12 seconds left on a Medusa. I mean, now it's divine time, right? You're 40 minutes in, and your tower is getting destroyed. No longer is it getting destroyed, however, as everybody is back up and ready here. But
they need to take Roche. That's what they have to do. They can't afford to give up Roche to the Medusa again.
Did we see what it is right now? If it's a refresher or a... Okay.
It's up, but...
This is number 3, and this was a hasty Roche respawn as well.
Yeah. We don't see, unfortunately. Yeah, they're smoking up. They're heading right towards the pit. This is a fight that Extreme might be able to take on their terms. Stun comes off. They might just lose the Undying right away. This is not a good way to start your fight.
I mean, they still have the Pango roll, but now with the kill that happened outside the pit, they know that this is exactly what's happening. They drop a scan.
They can't
This
afford.
was much earlier.
Yeah, I think they just lose the game here.
Yeah, this Roshan is going down here. They took way too long to smoke up and get moving there as A did. He BKBs for the primary. Looks like the second shard went to OOQ unless he bought it, and the Ags is going to go to the Centaur. I believe the Ags is still the old Ags, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's the extra damage reduction.
Damage reduction and extra 1 second on Stampede.
Yeah, that's actually huge for this.
And the pathing.
No pathing. The pathing is going to be the big one for sure.
Yeah. It's something people always forget about. But, you know, the anti-mage commits onto your Medusa. You pop the Stampede. Suddenly he's got 70% damage reduction. It feels pretty good.
He still has Ags queued up to build, though. But, yeah, this is going to be a really good item for him. Like, I'm ready to see it just unfold.
Yeah, there's way too much stuff for them to do in this team fight. They need to survive the Storm Spirit, jump in the backline, disable the Centaur so we can't get his Stampede off. Anti-Mage needs to be on top of the Medusa at the same time and then blow her up within, like, the first 2 seconds while the Centaur is hexed up. Like, the execution is so hard, and you have to get her twice now. That's the part that's literally impossible. I don't see how they actually bring down this Medusa twice.
Almost 3 times, actually, with the Satanic. So that's the other big thing here. But they could just get Abyssal Blade combos. They jump in, they drain the mana of the first life, They will just burn into this Medusa. They find the first life here. Karker is going to get rolled on the backline. Tira Storm is trying to zip in to do some aggressive damage, but OOQ has to end up popping Stone Gaze to turn this around, just bursting into continual crits as they will Stone Gaze, the Stone Form. The Void Spirit here slowed up to all Oblivion, but they will get bashed by a ranged bash though. But Irving jumps in, looking for a jump on a kill, but no mana available. They do, he baits the Mana Void and kills off the AM.
He's got buyback available. I think he's trying to bait him out. Medusa very far forward. What's the cooldown? Did he get the cooldown reduction on the Mana Void? He did. It's up in 5 seconds here. This could be big. Medusa sitting somewhat low.
Again here, they want to get him real low, but he's up on a bunch of heroes here. He is going to be in a bit of trouble. The A-Blast goes through. He's losing a lot of HP. He's dead. He's dead with no buyback. Dead for 2 minutes. There's no way that LBZ can defend this.
No, not without the
He's
anti-mage.
going down. The stun goes through. The slows out onto the Lion, but there's nothing they could do.
No, not without the anti-mage. This game, it just looks over. They couldn't afford to give up this Aegis to Medusa when she's got 2 lives. The commitment to get on her is just too hard. They have to commit. They lose too much. You can't bring her down a second time. They're going to try to defend here.
Yeah, they do end up finding Karker in the backlines here, but Karker with the buyback immediately available. Roll-up is going to be used to dedicate the jump to kill, and possibly on this Medusa, actually. He is getting very low here. He doesn't have mana, but Satanic online, turns it on, sweeps it around, and will end up getting a kill. He is disarmed for the time being, disarmed yet again, stunned up by the Lion. Actually, he might be going down here, losing a lot of mana. Will Manta, for the time being, there's too many zombies for him to click on. He gets disarmed and stunned into oblivion. He buys back immediately. He doesn't have travels, and they don't have the nearby outpost, but they have the Storm Spirit. He zips in, gets the miniature black hole as he has an Aghanim Scepter himself with the Electric Vortex. They do end up finding this Kona Irving. They want to go for more aid. Trying to go a little bit greedy here, but the Lotus is going to get the reflect on the Yules. ANN is going to be fine, though. I say that those Void Spirit jumps in. They find the stun available out from the line, but it's not going to find anything. The Snowball is going to be there out from the Tusk. He's going to hold him over the time being. There's going to be the tag team there out onto the Void Spirit. Void Spirit is about to go down as well. It's very low HP, and then comes this Medusa coming in here, clicking your heroes with with Stone Gaze, and they will end up cleaning up these towers, as they have no way of defending this other than continually disarming again, but they are going to go back in one more time. The Storm Spirit getting very low here. The multi-mana drain is going to be there to slow down and get the kill on the Storm, but Storm with a buyback immediately is going to roll back in here. Karker, speaking of rolling, is going to go find this roll out onto the Undying, but he can't quite get him. The Void Spirit does jump in, though. They do manage to bring down Karker. They're trying to hold this defense, but this Ancient is going down as the last click is going to be found by OOQ. And they will take game number 1, Extreme Gaming, with this Medusa pick. They get it. It was a completely, I don't want to say completely free farm game, but the Medusa just coming in with the buyback at the very end there, reading the situation perfectly to understand that the buyback was needed to go and win the game. It took so long for Medusa to get there, and they just held it for so long there.
That was a hell of a final siege there, Pete. I mean, they just kept going and going and going. The moment they knew that anti-mage was down, though, they knew they didn't have the damage, didn't have the fight in them at the end, and losing the AM twice just from overcommitting onto the Medusa, knowing that they need to blow her up, cost them so much. I mean, Void Spirit, he played incredible for that last team fight, but it just wasn't enough. These Aegises they give up to the enemy team, I think, were the things that cost them the game. 2 and 3. At that point, they just weren't able to turn the game around. But we're going to switch it back, watch some highlights, you guys. This is a hell of a game. Shout out to Extreme, being able to hold their ground.
Roshan's a very important thing when it gets to these later games. Like, as soon as a game hits the 25-minute mark, it literally is all on Roshan. But here you can see one of the other bigger team fights for Storm here. They were able to get the pick off. This was the big deny, actually. You do see the Yules being revealed there. Aiden trying to buy some time, but MS is just like, he'll just go ahead and hit him with the Void, but immediately just slam them in there.
Yeah, I mean, even that kill going the way of Anti-Mage, might have made enough of a difference. He would have come online a little bit faster to give this game a different result. I do think a lot of this came down to giving up all these Roshans, though. LBZS is something they're really going to have to pay attention to in game number 2. They were capable of winning this game. No mistake in my mind here. But definitely misplaying those ones.
I mean, it wasn't even like a scenario that the AM just didn't come online quick enough. Like, we saw in multiple fights very early into the game as well as later into the game where AM was able to get these kills that actually did turn the game quite a bit. And I mean, you could see it here as well.
Oh my god! I mean, Kayu's so good. What a gamer, man. Jumps out of the back line there. I mean, it is a sick play by OOQ, you know, getting the Mystic Snake off, Ancient Creeps as well, healing back up pretty high mana, but again, without the evasion, not able to stand on the ground there. Second, actually third hit bash. Aemon whacked away at him a couple of times there, but a bit of a throw there, I guess, knowing how important it was to keep Medusa alive. I think at that moment, LBZS had the game, and they gave it up again when they gave up Roshan. And look at this control on the Tusk, on the Medusa, but regardless of that, as long as she's got the Aegis, you don't get to win these fights. Irving playing so well in that team fight. Kyu as well, but you know, when you have to commit so many resources to the Medusa, you need to defend that Roshan. This was one of the best plays of the game. Taking the fight on their terms here on LBZS and showing off, okay, if you don't have that Aegis available, this is how easy it is for me to kill the Medusa. All I have to do is commit that first mana void. Nothing they were able to do here.
And that's why the name of the game was literally just down to Roshan, because every single team fight was not completely south for a Medusa, but you could see just at this point in the later game too, like MS, they get melted into this Medusa. They get him the first time, but BKB was already expended. His DD's at half duration. He still has the Abyssal Blade cast, but I mean, as soon as OOQ is able to pop off, it's just scary. There wasn't even a Divine Rapier Medusa either. It was just Medusa with raw damage.
Yeah, would have been able to kill that Storm. Woulda, shoulda, coulda, if he didn't have that Lincoln Sphere. But keep himself alive. I mean, incredibly important pickup here when you're playing against an Abyssal Blade anti-mages, Storm and Medusa. So nice grab there by Storm. A very good game. Yeah, they held for such a long time here. This is a very hyped defense. I mean, one-sided, definitely on the back foot here on LBZS, but they really made extreme fight for this one. They almost managed to keep wait long enough for anti-mage to come back up. Almost.
I mean, you could see just as soon as all of these kills happen, like the first thing that the players do is just hit the buyback button. Like first thing immediately, bam, buyback. Medusa has the TP to the outpost because there's nowhere close by, and this takes a long walk, and it looks like Aenid is going to be the MVP at the end of the day. I mean, it was a Centaur winning lane, that's for sure. Like that's the laning phase helped him get that early farm, and he was able to make quite a few plays with that.
I gotta say, I didn't give him enough credit. I wasn't focusing him enough. I mean, he got all these supportive items. You know, Lotus Orb, very important. He's always getting Reflex off of this one. Solar Crest, too good not to grab right now. If you don't have at least one Solar Crest on your team, you're doing something wrong. That item was buffed like crazy by the fact that its cost was reduced by like 1150 gold, and then finally that Crimson Guard. Pretty important in this game. But
yeah, well, I mean, the Vanguard, like you were saying, very early into the draft is a very early, very first pickup for a lot of these heavy, beefy offlaners nowadays, and it's not a big surprise to see the Crimson Guard. Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, actually, it's a best of 3 series. Like, believe it or not, that game number 1, hype as hell. But who knows? It might be even hype next time in the next game here. It might even be Techie's Pudge. I highly doubt it'll be Techie's Pudge because I don't think a lot of the people in the CN region like to run Techies in general. I do see a Pudge every now and again, but not in CN. That's in other places. But we're here for this game. And with that being said, game number 2 for Extreme Gaming versus LBZS will be right around the corner, so don't go far. More Dota 2 action for you coming up next.
还剩10秒，还剩5秒。
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to our series of Extreme Gaming versus LBZS game number 2 of this best of 3 series in the CN DPC Lower Div Season 2 event. I'm your play-by-play-caster, Parody PD, and Neff Sensei here with me on game number 2. Neff, already we have the draft up and live and ready to go. Beastmaster still being first phase banned, as always. It's the new first phase ban of the meta, because it's just axes. That's all you need to know. It's just Aghanim Scepter, axes.
Yep. Makes you eat all the axe. It's an oldie but a goodie. Ooh, we got Dragon Knight. Pete.
Speaking of oldie and goodies.
Yeah. Have I talked to you about anime at all today? Come on.
Yes, you already have, technically.
Who is your favorite character from the Dota 2 anime? Now that we have Dragon Knight on screen, we have a chance to talk about it.
Oh my gosh, why do you do this to me?
It's
actually, despite the fact that he got very little screen time, definitely Terrorblade.
Terrorblade?
100%.
I feel like you got enough. You do give me Terrorblade vibes. So.
I like Terrorblade.
Yeah.
And, I mean, to be fair, I have that resting face. So that might be the other scenario that you're thinking of here. But speaking of resting faces, they don't want to look at mine anymore. I can already see you're swapping over to get to the scene, and there it goes.
Yeah, there we go.
They don't want to see my face anymore. They want to see the face of the Dota 2 game. With that being the case, it is going to be actually a Puck first or second pick after the Lion second pick. I believe they opened with the Tusk.
Yeah. The Tusk, it did a lot last game. You know, a lot of early aggression came out from it. The saves were a little bit underwhelming. I feel it could have done a better job. But they're running a very tanky lineup this time around. I'm a little bit surprised that we haven't seen a Warlock picked or banned yet. Might be something that comes out in the second phase. Run as a position 5. I feel like you wanted another hero that could run around and do things with a Tusk, and you pick it up, and Warlock isn't really a do things hero. It's okay, I'm going to push the towers, I'm going to get the Fatal Bonds off, but a lot of damage, catch, etc. needs to come out from my teams. Golem also feels a little bit underwhelming in 2021. I don't know if you agree with that one.
What, the
Golem being underwhelming in 2021.
I'm pretty sure the only reason people use Warlock Rock anyway is because it's just the giant stun.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty good till the game goes on, but a lot of time you're able to cut it out or deal with the rock. Either way.
Yeah, well, you would need something to work with it. I mean, in this game, actually, it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility for LBZS, because they could just get a... they could drop a rock and then coil afterwards, or drop a rock and get multi-stuns with Lion. Like, it's anything to make the Searing Chains, really. That's the big thing about Warlock, is that Searing Chains is like his big chunky damage.
Mm-hmm. Do you think they'll pick up on Extreme next year sorry to interrupt, the Searing Chains, or sorry, Searing Fist you're thinking of, right?
Searing Fist?
Flaming Fist.
Flaming Fist? What are you talking about?
It doesn't matter. I wanted to bring up the potential of Luna being picked up. It's very popular in pubs at every high MMR region right now. The cube with the Aghanim Shard is absolutely broken, and she also happens to be my favorite character from the Dota 2 anime.
Is that why you wanted to lean in with this hero?
Yeah.
You just wanted to say that right at the end?
It's very popular. It's strong. The changes to it were good, and she is also my favorite Dota 2 anime character. And considering we already have Dragon Knight on one side, I feel like the odds of this coming out is pretty high.
Well, it's funny because the only thing I've seen about the Season 2 Book 2 that we saw very briefly on Netflix, that it was Luna was sitting next to Pangolier, and that was it.
Yeah.
And that was a fat Pango, let me tell you. Pango is not that fat in this game.
He's a chonky boy for sure.
And he's not that old either. He had like a full-on white, he had like gray mane white mustache.
Maybe it was Pangalier's dad. You know the classic Pangolier line, "My name is Pangolier, you killed my father, prepare to die."
There's only so few people in this world that'll actually understand, well, not understand that reference, but it's definitely a reference indeed.
Powerful reference.
Oh man, that's such a powerful reference indeed. Speaking
Ancient
of power,
Apparition,
though,
picked up again this game. I'm
By
not
segue.
crazy against it. I'm sorry I stopped your. Go ahead. You try it again.
no, it's too late. You've already done it.
Okay. Picked up
I
again.
was
You're
going
pretty good
to say
against the
the
Timber
power,
side.
man. With Timber, because it's a mechanical, No,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
too late. Moment's gone.
Apologies, Pete. Well,
My segue.
I'll let you segue later in this draft.
Oh,
All right. Let me
we
break
are
down these
still
picks
kicking
though. We've got Dragonite. I actually saw it run in position 4 the other day in North America. 1437 ran it in the lower division on D2 Hustlers. It didn't work out that well. I imagine this game it's either going to be an offlaner or a position 2, offlaner or a mid. I like the Aghanim shard changes, but he doesn't really have the mana to be able to spam out his spell in the same way. The fact that you can only use it when you were in dragon form before was a little bit underwhelming because you already had your farming tools. They pick up Medusa again, so they've got 2 very tanky frontliners here.
if it ain't broke, don't fix. And I mean, it worked really well in game number 1, and already DK isn't really one of those heavy farm-based off-laning heroes. And
there is absolutely no way that they just let Anti-Mage through again. There is no way that happens. They get rid of the Terrorblade here.
the DK is such a strong stun against the AM. Like, you'd have to time everything right with the with Reflect, basically.
I feel like this is another really good Anti-Mage game. Maybe not as good as last time, but they've lit it through. It's single target stun. You got single target Cold Feet here on Ancient Apparition. You don't really care about the Ice Blast that much. There's no way they let this through again.
And you still ban PL here, though, right?
Oh my god, that is such a
They're
huge
letting it
flex.
through.
That is such a huge flex there by
Like, you weren't
Extreme.
scared of your AM last game. We're not scared of your AM this game.
That is unbelievable to me. That they just let Anti-Mage through twice. LBZS, they should have won that game. They gave up Roche too many times. They could win this game. This is insane.
I mean, the big difference with this game is that this Puck is a much bigger playmaking hero that can really like roam around the map. Void Spirit kind of needs maybe like a Yule's for a setup or the eventual Aghanim Scepter. Like, Puck just exists, and that's the big difference already. Is that the playmaking is much more prominent on the side of LBZS very early into the game, whereas last game it was still like susceptible to change, more or less. It all depends on what Extreme's last pick here is overall on whether or not this AM gets picked. You see the Centaur being banned, which was the hero that was used against the AM in the last game that worked out extremely well for them.
Yep. Not caring really about how much mana he had. You couldn't really zone Centaur out of the lane. He was going to reflect a lot onto you. Just stand his ground and fight. So whatever offlaner they pick up this game, it's not going to have the same effect as the Centaur. I think they should just go for the Anti-Mage again. My only concern in this game is that their damage is a little bit underwhelming. They rely completely on magic damage here. If you pick up BKBs on Extreme and you grab an Anti-Mage to close out your draft, I'm not sure you're going to be able to bring down these heroes in these team fights. Because of that, Phantom Lancer or Terrorblade might have been a little bit stronger, but I'm not sure who else is going to be able to do the job to bring down this Medusa in the team fight, as well as AM is going to. Like, obviously,
I mean, for a little while, we
Terrorblade...
saw the Weaver, right?
Yeah. For a little while, but that hero was nerfed into the ground.
Morphling?
A Morphling is not playable against the Ancient Apparition. That'd be rough.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's already been the other answer there. I mean, the Jug was still one of the bigger heroes we're seeing back into this patch right now. It's not great, actually, against the Medusa. Still, like, Jug just needs... He has to have good Omnis. And it's going to be Lina last pick, actually. So it is going to be the offlane DK.
AM is so good here.
I'll just slam AM right now.
Yeah. I mean, I would say Ricky, as well. That's another hero that's playable here, but unfortunately, I don't think the hero is as strong as it was back before the nerfs to Tricks of the Trade.
They might just be scared to click AM, though. That's the thing, is that even if AM is such a good hero, they're literally letting them just take it.
This is such big disrespect to LBZS to let anti-mage through again. Just extreme thinking they're able to deal with it. At LBZS, they have to be sitting there doubting that they're able to win now after that last game because they had the opportunity to, but again, they gave up Roshan too many times.
Oh, will they take the AM? That is the end of the question here. What would they take that's not AM? You already talked about Ricky. And AM is the tier 1 basically pick here. They can't run... Could they run Naga?
Kind of. I don't think they really want to run Naga either. You've got decent illusion clear from Medusa, from Lina. You're able to control up the illusions pretty well. A lot of AoE coming out from them. I'm not sure anything.
There's actually just no heroes.
It's got to be the anti-mage. There it is.
Yep, there it is.
There's no hero better.
There's nothing else they were able to really pick from here. It was going to be AM no matter what. Like you were saying, AM is the perfect fit, and it's well, I mean, what do you do at the end of the day? You're queuing with AM again, and you lost a game that you should have really won in game number 1, and now you're back here with AM again, game number 2, and you're like, this is weird. Can we do it again? Can we actually get it this time? That is the question going through their minds.
You know, for all purposes, I think that they should have won that game. I think that they should win this game. I don't think they should have hesitated that long picking the anti-mage, but after you lose a game like that, you start to wonder if the AM was the problem. I think the problem was a lot of other elements of that game. So this game, they need to turn it around somehow. They have the power to do it here, Pete. They definitely have the power to win with the anti-mage. They just need to buckle up. I mean, bottom lane, Dragon Knight is going to be able to kind of deal with the anti-mage, but not have as much damage to trade with him as the Centaur did in the last game. So because of that, he might get zoned out. He's able to stand his ground because of Dragon Spot. He'll be able to heal himself back up. It will take a while for him to zone Mandolin on DK, but one of his big tools for denying CS from the enemy team, Breathe Fire, reducing their damage by a little bit, he's not going to be able to spam as he's a melee hero playing against the AM. So because of that, it's another reason why I think that lane works out a little bit better. As far as mid lane goes, I think Puck is extremely busted right now, given the changes to the runes and what goes on in the mid lane. He's very good at shoving things out. You're forced to grab the water runes at 2 minutes, bounty runes at 3 minutes, etc. You'll have to make a choice between missing XP in your lane or kind of giving up those runes to enemy heroes who are rotating. Given that they have Clock as well, amazing hero at finding rotations, grabbing runes, you're going to struggle a little bit on that Lina. So LBZS they were in a really good place to win last game. They lost anyways, but I don't think they'll make the same mistake twice. LBZS, they're my favorites. Let's go. Let's see it. I'm going to switch us into the game.
I didn't even get a word in there. He's just going ham over here. That's.
I love Dota too.
There's nothing else to it though. LBZS, they do have the superior draft of the pick. Lina does rip into the Timbersaw quite a bit. That's probably the only downside to this offlane is that whenever Storm rotates, it's likely always going to be on this Timbersaw because Timber is going to be pushing in this lane quite heavily against the Medusa because Medusa can't really do anything about that. You do see that all the heroes are sitting mid at the moment. Maybe not. They're not revealing any lane information yet, obviously, but yeah, we're gonna have the MS on the AM again. They're like, they're ready. They want round 2 of this one. They want it bad.
Round 2. I'm putting my faith in LBZS. I've been hurt before, Pete. I'm a delicate maiden after that last game.
Well, we still have Cat U on his lucky lion, at least. Still going to be blessed with that scenario overall here, but they're not going to let the same mistake happen again last game, where they ended up getting 3 runes very early. Extreme will just go for the 2-2. It'll be a 2-2 even trade here. It's going to be the offlane DK, but you do see this Medusa camping in the mid here for some reason, I believe, because they're trying to uncover some information from Zhao Fu, who's around OOQ at the moment.
Yep. You're gonna have to TP. You're gonna. Oh, Zhao Fu. He's gonna slow him down. Hit him with the battery assault. Get him. All right, never mind.
I think I mean, that's the thing, though, is that like they're waiting to rotate heroes to a specific lane because they want to figure out if Timbersaw is going to be good in X, Y, Z, or lane. And now you do see that the Timbersaw is making a walk down to bot while the Medusa is doing the same thing. So the only downside to doing this method is that you do end up losing a bit of XP very early in the game, likely going to be one range creep. The upside of it is the fact that it's going to go on your support. And your support's going to be able to pump out the extra support-based damage because they're already farming this a little bit here. The DK is going to be the one hanging out here in this bot lane, though, and Aid is perfectly fine being very close to level 2 here, but he's actually going to give it the walk back instead of the TP home. So this is... I mean, it's the fact that the AA is actually still in the top lane, too, so they're still getting good XP overall.
Yep. That's XP he's going to be able to use, you know, put points into his... what's it? The Chili Fingers?
The Chili Fingers.
Yeah, that's the name of the spell, I'm pretty sure.
No, it's Chilling Touch.
Oh, okay. Chili Fingers.
No.
All right.
OQ in trouble down here. They don't have the man shield available. He is going to be Brock Bat. The tag team is going to try to at least slow it down for the time being, but Zhao Fu, they are going to be able to find this kill in OQ. And this is what you didn't want to deal with. You didn't want to be in this Clockwork. No, I think the Clockwork Timbersaw lane was what you wanted to be in. Because the AM is going to be able to contest farm pretty easily in this lane.
I think you're happier fighting against the anti-mage rather than the Timbersaw. But you were forced to, you know, walk around the map, potentially miss CS. I mean,
nope, they're swapping it back out.
Interesting. I have no idea what's going on. This is too high level for me to understand.
I want to think it's because of the fact that AM does. The reason I want to think that the Medusa is better versus the AM is because of the fact that the CS will go relatively even. Like, AM is not going to turn and try to make a fight, and neither is the Medusa. Like, neither of them really want to make a fight here, while the Timbersaw and Clockwork combination will always want to try to make something happen.
Yep. And they will. I'm a little bit surprised that they ended up going for Whirling Death at level 1 rather than Timber Chain for running down that Medusa. It ended up working out anyways. I think that Timber Chain's like the best level 1 ability in the game. Pure damage, gap close. I mean, what more can you ask for? Escape?
Less mana cost.
Less mana cost. You're a little bit too demanding. It's the issue with millennials, Pete.
What?
You want too much.
Sir, I'm a Skywrath player. Mana cost is literally my curse.
I see. I would say that mana cost is a blessing. I don't think the hero would be as broken if he wasn't limited by mana.
But Skywrath.
Yeah, but Skywrath, yeah. Difficult.
Yeah, imagine if all spells took a percentage of your HP. There was a neutral item, actually, I think I remember in the custom game mode, that you would turn your mana bar into HP.
Stonework Amulet or something like that.
Yeah. You would turn your mana bar into HP and you would cast with HP, but it would be at like a 3% base increase of the spell's mana cost.
It was something. Huskar also works like that. You pay HP instead of mana for a life break.
Yeah, but that's yeah. Well, that's his two abilities though. Nobody picks Huskar.
That's not true. That hero is very busted right now.
Well, not in pro scene.
It's like
everybody still likes to pick their Medusas and DKs, and DK more so because the anime is kind of sweeping it back in here.
Yeah, they'll come around. People will start picking Huskar again. You'll see. This is the power of Puck. Zone in the lane. He's going to be able to... Oh, he's actually just forced to retreat. I take it back. Puck feeling not very powerful. Gets back here.
I mean, that's the thing about this, about Storm being on this Lina, is that he's played a lot of these mids before. Looks like not so much Lina as he is a bronze in it, but it's the... he just knows what they're doing. That's the thing. Very experienced mids. They know how to trade last hits, clicks over and over again. But the other big thing, like you were talking about, is that the fact that nobody has died in this mid lane yet is because of these water runes just pumping out consistent regen in this lane. Bot lane, Cat-U is going to be in trouble here. They will get thrown out the shards. The tag team still trying to click them away, but at the same time, AA is going to go down, and Karker likely next to fall here. Like you're saying, they were holding the Hex, and as a result, they're going to find the kill on Karker. But Cat-U gets clipped by a loose Serpent connector. They will find this return kill and actually will find the escape of this Tuskar.
This is a tragedy. Cat-U. He's holding his Hex. He ends up walking into that snake, though. He is waiting to turn that around after his teammates were done with the people on Extreme. Ends up choking on that one, though. Didn't see the Mystic Snake coming out. He ends up getting clipped down.
I haven't really been talking about this top lane too much here, as it's been relatively even for both of these offlaners. For the offlaners here, it's 28-3 to 26-3. Karker, though,
You mean
not gonna find the same fate. Trying to find a deny there, but unable to get it.
Yeah, the lane with the hero with bonus armor and HP regen against the hero with bonus armor and HP regen. Bound to be a very exciting lane.
There's literally, yes. there's nothing else we can really talk about. That is how that lane goes. Speaking of how the lane goes, though, back in mid, the coil is going to be dedicated on the Storm. The TP is going to be there out from the Tusk. They do have the shards that goes out, but it's going to be on the wrong side as Storm and Cat-U, everyone's around here to get this kill into Storm and trying to get the Laguna Blade, and they will find at least a kill on the way out here, but still going down. Not exactly ideal for Alina very early.
No. Lina is going to struggle this game. We're playing against a Clockwork. Picking the Lina into it was a little bit questionable. Yes, you can build yourself 4-staff. Yes, 4-staff, I think, on heroes like Lina was buffed up a little bit. The fact that you build a Fluffy Hat with it now, which increases your HP regen. But you have to watch with the positioning of the Clockwork jumping you on the backline, somebody else following up for the rest of this game. Dragonite, he's just going to go down here. Not a whole lot he's able to do.
Yeah, no more capability of playing chicken with the rest of this top lane here as they rotated in the Clockwork and got the kill with it. And, I mean, LBZS, this is a much different game in comparison to game number 1. OOQ not having a easy free time farming this time around, sitting at 7-2 in comparison to the AM's 3 or 7-2, 2-7, sitting at the AM's 3-2, however.
Yep. Oh, AM 3.2k net worth. He's trying to get it. He just got himself level 6. Medusa's hitting pretty low mana. It's possible to commit onto her and to try to blow her up if somebody else rotates down here. Puck does have Dream Coil available, but now 4 heroes down here in the bottom lane. The only person who isn't there is Lina. So has to be careful.
I mean, they want to really try to get this kill on the MS. They know that they've been given a free advantage here, but with the TP in from the Timbersaw, Aided not able to drop into the dragon form here and maybe find a return kill, though Zalfu might be the return kill they are going to get for here, as Karker is trying to get the jump on the Zalfu, but Storm, I believe he was trying to check for the bottle rune, or the rune there, and it wasn't there. They will find this kill, though. Aided will expend dragon form to try and get it. Not needed, though. Storm will find it with the Dragon Slave, but back up in the top lane, you do see your Medusa in a bit of trouble here with no mana available, and the AM blocking the path. OOQ trying to get out of here, but out comes the coil as well, and this will be one dead Serpent.
Yep.
As OOQ will fall.
Yeah, MS drops pretty low for all this. Puck bottles him up. His HP a little bit. Being forced to commit the coil doesn't feel good there, but he managed to kill the Medusa. And,
Well, they are going to at least apply some pressure to the mid tower because as
Drop,
most
say
DKs
the line,
do,
Pete.
What?
Say the line, Pete.
As most DKs do, DK press R, tower go boom. But of course, there is going to be a little bit of a situation here as they are going to be in trouble. But Aenid, being a DK and all, having all this HP regen, is going to be able to get out of this one. While Karker, maybe not so much in the same boat here, does have a lot of wand charges available, but he is just getting dove upon here and it will end up going down. They might not be done. They were thinking of going for Aenid there, but not going to follow up on that chase.
Yep. He's got 19 armor underneath the tower. Not ideal for diving. Anti-mage. Chipping away at the top tier 1. That tower struggling to go boom. Pick up a couple of neutral items now. Fairy Trinket does feel pretty good on this Timbersaw. The spell amp, the mana cost reduction. Not as good as it feels on Storm Spirit, but you know, always amazing find there on Timbersaw. No.
Well, 10 minutes in, the first tower is about to be claimed. This top lane, I mean, LBZS, they are farming. The AM is a little bit behind now, 300 in the back pool here, but the Timbersaw, like you were saying, leading to net worth, 4.4. Coil being dedicated out to Karker here on the rune fight here, but it looks like we're going to watch the death of the top tower instead. You do see Karker, though, with the haste rune that he stole, is going to be able to get out. The stun actually falls out from Aenid here, but Karker can't really help and dedicate any further here. Not really concerned about it though, as DKs will do. He's just gonna go into the mid press R on the tower, and it will go down eventually.
Say the line, Pete.
It will go boom.
Thank you.
Say the line. Oh gosh, that was from season 1. Like, come on. That's so long ago.
I'm glad you could pick up on my references. All right, Irving.
Oh.
Not even necessary. Yeah, you removes Karker from the game. Just hit level 6. So first stack of fingers now online.
Let me show off my my new toy.
Your toy?
Bam.
Yeah.
He's dead. No?
No? Huh?
Ha.
烈焰中塔正受到攻击。
Anyway, looking at the net worth though, it's a 3K net worth and an approximate 2 to 3K XP lead on the side of LBZS. I mean, they're having a much better time in game number 1. They let the AM through, which we were all surprised about, and looks like they are going to go for this kill into A-Nid. I think A-Nid might have tried to start a TP, but didn't really matter. Trying to find the stun, but he's just getting burnt down by Irving, as well as the follow-up battery assault from the Clockwork.
Yeah.
Not enough save available. Karker not 6 yet even, so he can't even get the jump in there. They do end up looking for more, as they are going to find this jump on the Storm, and they find him too.
Yep. Irving is curious why he was heading over there in such a hurry, but they realized just a small window killed that Lena. Stun comes up to Aqua. He ends up going down as well.
Hero by hero by hero.
Yeah.
Losing one by one. Good old ninja style. 76% win percentage.
Yeah.
Win chance.
We're looking pretty good right now. Possessed Mass now picked up by the puck. I imagine that'll go the way of Anti-Mage. Be happy to have that farm up a little bit quicker. What's Battle Fury status?
烈焰下塔
Luis is doing pretty well for
I mean,
himself.
he's sitting at 5.5. I imagine he's either got it or he's
He's
like
just about got it.
20-something gold away.
Yep.
烈焰中
20-something gold is not a lot. 200-something gold away.
Yeah.
烈焰中
Didn't see if he
塔
picked up
被摧毁
treads earlier.
I think he did end up going treads. It was a relatively free lane for him.
Puck looking for a kill now on Lena. Yeah, they see the Dragon Slave come out. Lena's just dead.
Yeah, they tried to get the Clockwork Hook on him, though, and they can't quite get it. They will drop the coil. The Guna Blade does find the latch. They are just trying to burn in some damage, but they can't quite get the kill trade on the Puck, and Storm will go down. We'll clip a courier, though.
I mean, almost killed the Puck there because that hook shot was off the mark. Got the courier at the tail end of that one. That one at least feels somewhat good. About this game not getting any easier. 6K net worth advantage here, and you know, last game you came out of the laning phase pretty far ahead. You almost lost the anti-mage regardless of that. This game, AM is having the time of his life. You're losing before he's even starting to contribute to these team fights. I don't see how you come out on top here on Extreme. This game is looking quite difficult for him.
Here we go. Yeah, he is very close, actually. He's only 30 gold away. And yeah, this game is looking heavily into LBZ's hands. I don't want to say I don't foresee a recovery, because as always, the DK could just run around, find towers to trade. But just look at these picks. Like, this is not the same Extreme Gaming we had in game number 1. And they will find Storm off of this trade as well, and they will get the kill.
Yeah, Miss Beaky, these defensive items just aren't coming online fast enough. Picking this Lena into a Clockwork who's able to jump you on the backline, power cogs you while you're getting hit by battery yourself. There's just nothing you're able to do. AM might just go down.
Yeah, he does get hit by the AA blast, and being chased by Anid here, he's going to burn down ever so slowly.
Yep.
But he does pick up the Battle Fury, so he's got all of his money and everything else available with that. When the coil does go through, we'll find the kill trade onto Aqua there.
That one is pretty funny. The anti-mage was trying to switch treads to strength as he was dropping. He's under AA blast though, so it didn't do anything. Now, 8K net worth advantage here on LBZS. 50 minutes rolls around. Bounty Rune's about to spawn. I imagine they'll play a little bit slower for a moment until anti-mage is back up on the map, shoving things out. Battle area make things easier on that front.
你的奖励。
Yeah, he's able to farm quite effectively. He's going to get that Mantis set up, and the Zanj Kaya will be up out onto this Timber Saw. lined up and ready for that too. The DK is going to go for the Blink Dagger. This is something that they really kind of need. They had the Centaur last game to kind of cover that scenario, and Centaur not really I mean, it's just not a hero that they were able to pick. It was gone. I believe it was first phase as well. So it's they definitely need the Blink Dagger. It's severely needed in this team fight, in this game, because they need something to get onto these back lines, and they don't have the same thing. The closest thing they've got is the Tusk, and you don't want to be jumping around at the Tusk.
Yeah. Speaking of Clockwork, tried to jump the Tusk himself, ended up missing off the mark with that hook shot. Medusa and Tusk have vision, or I think, yeah, they know where the Clockwork is. There's an observer ward on him. They might choose to commit onto him, we'll see. The rest of the team is pretty far away, and I think most of them know that.
Lena's first and only item is BKB. Is that correct? Oh, looks like they find Lion. I mean, in this game, I guess that is kind of the same scenario here. You can walk out a coil, which we could see here is doing quite a bit here. You don't get silenced up as well. Karker maybe looking for a punch, but the fresh BKB reveal. But Storm, he's just going to get kited around with this BKB.
Yeah, he's forced to pop that right away,
working in. The tag team actually.
But the moment this ends, blink on, Mana Void.
Yep, there it is. Jumps in with the Mana Void. They find 2 for this one. They are going to find 3 with the kill of Karker here. Blink's available, and Karker not able to get anything off of this one, while Puck meanwhile finds the kill on Aeonid on the sidelines here. They will find 4, and the only one to live is the Medusa, completely on the other side of the map trying to farm the triangle, which, by the way, is warded.
That's, yeah. Not a place where you want to be. They were trying to de-ward that one as well on LBZS. It was slightly off the mark with that ramp, but I'm not surprised that people are struggling to de-ward a little bit more, given the map changes. Everyone's getting used to where teams are planting their observer wards and whatnot. More and good vision.
Oh,
yeah.
They drop a scan. They know exactly where he is. The Clockwork Hook is available. Cat-U is going to try to set it up, but the Manta is going to be brought in just in time, but they will drop the stun with the Blink Dagger reveal on Aeonid. Cat-U will go down. Maybe not reading the situation here. They will find this kill.
When Cat-U says go, you go. Okay. This man plays very aggressive on his pause 4 heroes. Sometimes a little bit too far forward. A lot of time he'll make plays that you don't expect him to make, though. It was because of his aggressive blinks in the last game that he managed to go down this fight.
Oh, goodness. They find 2 from this one. They might be able to find Aeonid as well. Trying to get out here. They will end up expending the Stone Gaze to try and deter this team fight. They will Stone Form the Timber Saw, but the AM is here. Aeonid will clean house, as he will end up getting this kill and next to fall. They will end up getting OOQ and Karker as well. So Puck just getting off these easy picks here. MS is going to go ahead and try to make a run at Storm here, but Storm is going to be down while MS is just going to go to the jungle creeps.
Yeah.
Farm up what he can.
Still got the BKB available. Worst comes to worst, she's just able to TP out. You do have a hook shot available in the clock. Well, yeah, that's generous. I feel like 91-9 is underestimating the kind of lead that LBZS have and where they sit in this game. Make matters worse, you find a Ring of Aquila now on the anti-mage. It's awesome pickup for him. I mean, yes, you asked earlier about the BKB on Lina, if this was a good first item. The answer is yes. You need this for when the Clockwork jumps you. You want to be able to stand your ground and fight. If he's not hitting you with a battery assault, he's not doing as much. They kill Cat-U before he gets anything off. They turn this around. Zhao Fu almost drops. He's going to be pretty low, but he will survive this.
Yeah, he got hit with the AA blast as well as just a stray right click. But yeah, it looks like he's going to be fine with this one. He does have the magic resistance in the form of the Veil. Oh, looks like reviewing the Maelstrom here onto this Puck. He drops the Quill to try to confirm this kill on the Storm, but with the BKB expended, he's perfectly fine just leaping out of there with the jaunt out.
Yeah. Everybody just starts dropping salves on Storm, trying to power him up. He is not having a good game right now, and his team knows it. But again, this is something that Leo Style ran a lot as well. I think Thunder Predator was like the only team running Lina mid during the major. Prior to her getting a couple of buffs in the most recent patch, like her, I think Light Strike Array, Talents would change around to 25, and Fiery Soul. The stack time was improved, so you could use spells a little bit less often. Anyways.
Yeah, I remember seeing that actually, because I was just like, man, they want Lina to come back again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe as position 4 still. I don't know about like mid. There's still a lot of other mids in this patch you kind of want to run on top of it, but
But yeah, Leo style on Thunder Predator will run like a Yule Scepter or a very, very early BKB on Lina, because to make up for the hero's weaknesses. Like, it is so easy to just jump on top of Lina the same way you would a Shadow Fiend and just ruin her game. So getting an early BKB actually doesn't feel that bad. Tried to do the same thing on Lina this game, but it came out a little bit too late. Wasn't able to find that initial farm first. He went the BKB this game because he was losing rather than to stop himself from losing.
And the other scenario on top of that is that there's still a lot of stuff that could kind of break through this BKB. The eventuality of a puck going in the Aghanim Scepter, a Basher eventually on the AM, because we both know that's going to go that way. And then, of course, the Clockwork Hook still pierces through BKB.
Yep.
So there's that as well. Speaking of which, jump in. They will find this kill onto Karker here.
Well, yeah, it was basically just Leo style who made Lina look good in this last patch. Shout out to my man.
Yeah,
Leo
so far
style.
there's not too much else making it look better here. Kind of like when we saw the very first Necro game of the whole entire Dota 2 patch. Zafu, maybe trying to get the jump on Aeonid here. Irving is going to be close by, maybe to get the Chakram slow. Yep, there's the slow, and that will put Zafu in range with Battery Assault, but the finger goes through, but I don't think it's going to be enough, actually, to get the kill. Nope, they find him. And it will be enough time for the finger stack as well, but this might be the death of Irving. Nope, I'm completely wrong. They drop a two-man coil on these supports. It's going to rip him through. Karker will go down. No, he's going to actually snowball for the time being while the buyback comes out from the DK and the buyback from the A as well. They are going to send out the A blast to go through. There's no connector, and they can't find anything. They tried to get as many kills as possible, buying back, and Extreme Gaming, they just dropped the GG.
Oh my god.
Maybe this time you'll respect the AM pick.
Yeah, I mean, the huge amount of disrespect we were talking about in the draft, but it wasn't just the anti-mage this game. This was everything, Pete. I mean, the AM was great, but the puck ended up sitting at, like, what at the end of the game? Like 14-0? He's sitting at beyond godlike at like 13, 14 minutes into the game. He had an amazing performance, and Storm just couldn't accomplish anything on that Lina. They felt overconfident. Their draft was all over the place. Clockwork was able to ruin the Lina's game. You had the DK matched melee strength hero matched up against Timbersaw on the top lane. Like, yeah, it's boring at first, but Timbersaw is going to come out of that one on top eventually. Well, Anti-Mage finds all the farm in the world thanks to these superior lane matchups. I think you need to be a little bit more careful with your draft next time on Extreme. In fact, I think LBZS should have won the first game. I think if they didn't give up those Roshans, it would have been a completely different story. But them, showing off, we're going to see some highlights of this next game. Transition back into that one real quick. Take a look at where everything went wrong for Extreme.
I want to say it is still like the factor of putting in that the laning phase, more or less, is that the Medusa was against the Timbersaw for most of the game, and then on top of that, when they put in the AM in the same lane, it's just it was like you were saying, you don't expect the AM to ever really be against the Medusa. So from both my perspective and from your perspective, there was no good lane for this Medusa to be in. And you can see it here as well with the coil very early. Just getting a lot of these kills. Sure, you trade off a lot of HP, but there's just... I didn't even talk about it a single time this game, but the Clockwork had made some amazing plays as well. It's just... The scariest thing about a Clockwork, right, is Clockwork level 6? Yes, then he probably has his ult, and we don't want to be in the lane anywhere, because that's the scariest thing about a Clockwork. The man could literally be anywhere and just hook you in literal seconds, and that's something you have to be continually scared about. It's like the threat of Black Hole, more or less, is that it's just... there's a Black Hole available on Enigma. Do we want to make a big team fight? No, because Black Hole is still up. It's the same thing for Clockwork, same thing for Spirit Breaker. That's a classic one. If somebody is MIA... that has those big invisibility stuff, then that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, this BKB just came out a little bit too late. Storm didn't have a good enough start of this game, and it's not a bad BKB game. Like, Storm recognized that MS was going to use that mana void onto him, but the moment that ends, he blinks back in, finishes him off. These team fights all going the way of LBZS. I think this game, they'll change their mind. They'll respect ban the anti-mage if they plan on picking up a Medusa. I don't think the PL is something that you should have been as afraid of as the anti-mage. Terrorblade, yes, it makes sense. You don't have to deal with that illusion of the Medusa split-shotting down your entire team. But the anti-mage pick up against, like, they pick up these very easy heroes, both in the mid lane and in the safe lane for anti-mage to go on, and it just compounds the issue.
I mean, what's the... They nerfed all the PL stuff too anyway, so PL is definitely still more, like, tolerable at the end of the day. But, I mean, with the toleration and everything, this game, the coil here, I believe this was the full buyback team fight. This was the last hurrah. And they just couldn't really get anything here. They poured everything into the Timbersaw, and I think he still lives. Yeah, he just wands with like 4 wand charges, and he's just back to normal. And they're actually going to give it to the off-lane Timbersaw, to Irving here. That's not actually the worst decision to give it to either. He played an amazing off-lane. He didn't really crumble under the more or less stress of having to rotate to and fro very early into the game.
Yeah.
But, yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, lot of kill participation, the gold to damage ratio, 102, and he went for a very interesting build. I haven't seen a Kassange in a long time.
Some people are starting to pick it up on a number of heroes. Beastmaster, a lot of people pick it up on. Just want to amp your magical damage, of course. Eternal Shroud makes sense. But yeah, congratulations to them. Game number 2, definitely very one-sided match. Game number 1, back and forth. The high ground defense is pretty hype, but we'll have to see if LBZS are able to close this one out. They did look off their game earlier today, but you know they are favored going into this one, having placed much higher in this last match.
Yeah, this is the LBZS that I remember from I believe
Perfect World League.
In Perfect World League. Yeah, I was almost gonna say Season 1, but we didn't have them Season 1. They were in Upper Division Season 1.
Yeah,
But yeah, this is the LBZS I remember from Perfect World League.
Yeah,
but yeah,
performance in Upper Division again. They ended up losing like 0-14, which never feels good. But you're playing against some superstars in that region. Bit of a confidence boost. You know, having played some easier matches earlier this week. But congratulations to them. 1-1 so far. I'm excited though, Pete. Game number 3 is coming up, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be a very fun game number 3 with LBZS taking this second game. Then they lead the series with the 1-1 even. Question is, AM ban or not? There's only one way you'll find out, and that is coming back for game number 3 of LBZS versus Extreme Gaming. So don't go far, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 3 right around the corner.
方挑选英雄。
Beastmaster. No. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to game number 3 of LBZS versus Extreme Gaming in the lower division, season 2 of the CN tournament. I'm your play-by-play
you okay?
caster,
还剩10
Can you smell
Party
burnt
Petey,
toast?
Burnt,
请天辉
I-
and Neff Sensei as my co-caster. Ladies and gentlemen, Beastmaster.
I'm glad you're alive. You're still with me here, Pete. But yeah, we've got a Beastmaster for the first time. I guess Extreme forgot to ban that one out. Rookie mistake. What can I say? They didn't pick up Rubik in response to it, which is another surprise to me. A lot of the time, people are going to run the Rubik mid against the Beastmaster mid the moment they see that one picked up. Too easy to steal wild axes. You basically become Beastmaster, but better. Dragon Knight and Grimstroke taken instead. Grimstroke, it does feel incredibly strong this patch. Being able to drop the Inkswell on top of the Dragon Knight, him blinking on top of you. Dragon Tail followed up by the Inkswell popping off. Keep somebody locked down for a pretty long time. Does a lot of damage.
月眼方进
Probably want to ban out the Warlock, though. You don't want to get double Fatal Bonds. Yeah, they get rid of the Rubik on this phase. Interesting that they were willing to... Yeah, they're willing to give up a potential Rubik there. Interesting. I'm a little bit surprised, I gotta say. Oh, we'll see what happens here next. Tuska's grabbed. You've got some decent slow with that one. You're able to run people down. You can run the Beastmaster in the offlane, but a lot of time people put him in the mid because it's that much easier to find the farm. They want to get their egg and scepter done like 13, 14 minute mark. Spam that out. It just does so much damage. It's ridiculous. Despite the fact it was nerfed once, I don't think it's something you can really live through at the moment. Especially if you're not grabbing Rubik in response to it right away. So another drafting issue by Extreme. Last time they shouldn't have let the anti-mage through. This time the classic blunder of letting like the most broken hero of the patch through. See what Extreme ban out next here. I think it's pretty hard about this one, going through a lot of the reserve time. Usually you don't start to drop this low until you're coming out onto whatever your third pick is. That's when you want to solve the majority of the draft. Possible
It might be
Beastmaster matchups.
Yeah, that's what it is. It might be the fact that they're trying to figure out what can be used against the Beastmaster to actually better benefit them at the end of the day. The only problem is that there's not much. In fact, you actually banned Ursa. No, Ursa's good against the DK, so they're getting rid of the potential Ursa versus DK offlane.
Yeah.
The other one was Monkey King, but we've been seeing a lot of Monkey King ban as well as just Monkey King not picked.
Mm.
还剩10秒。
Pugna.
What do you do versus Beastmaster?
What do you
I mean,
do?
Pugna is one, but you do
Yeah.
ban. They ban him.
Yeah, you'd solve it with the 2 picks you get immediately after you see the Beastmaster come out. You could have picked up the Warlock. Sorry, not the Warlock. You could have picked up
Rubik.
The Rubik. You could take the Warlock and the Grimstroke together. That would be incredibly powerful. But you had your chance. Pugna
Mid
also
Doom?
would have been a decent solution. Doom isn't really that good against the Beastmaster. I mean, you can throw Doom out. Your 140-second cooldown stop him spamming his 0-second cooldown ability.
Good point. Good point. And there's not really much that can make the mana cost of the spell really increase. The next closest thing, I guess, would be... I mean, even Silencer's not even that good. Because it's very little damage that comes from his Q in comparison to how much damage the Beastmaster is going to be able to pump out with axes come that later stage of the draft. Of the game.
Yeah. You know, you just go Guardian Greaves. You can go Lotus Orb as well. Immediately dispel it. Silence BKB to a lot of solutions for him. Coming out third pick now on Extreme Gaming. I hope there's some sort of solution. They get rid of the Ursa, the Abaddon, the Clockwork. It's possible they plan on grabbing something else that sits on the back line here. Something like the Lina. There was another pretty major mistake that they made is grabbing a mid that didn't have an escape, couldn't deal with Clockwork just jumping on top of you. Was forced to get that BKB, came out pretty late. Game was just griefed there on Storm, so I imagine he's not too happy. They go with the AA instead. It feels like they're just falling back on things that they're comfortable with instead of...
The meta.
Instead of the meta, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is pretty common in North America Division 2 that I'm also covering, but very uncommon here in China. You see certain things that are very popular inside the region that haven't bled over elsewhere. Like for a pretty long time, Phoenix was more popular in China in the last patch than it was a lot of places. Centaur, it felt like it was exclusively being picked up in China. But Ancient Apparition here doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Again, it stops them picking something like a Morphling, which is something that we talked about towards the end of the last 2 drafts. But you grab the AA 3 games in a row, and I feel like he's kind of an underwhelming presence. And now you have to play against the Oracle.
I haven't seen a good Oracle in a long time, actually. I think the last time I did was actually in an NA draft. I don't think I've casted a game with an Oracle yet.
Well,
in this season.
It's a good game for Oracle. I mean, on one hand, you could argue, okay, you can't heal somebody up if they're hit by the Ice Blast, but Oracle is going to end up dropping that, the False Promise onto you. So the healing is calculated at the end of the False Promise rather than during, so you'll heal back up at the very end once the Ice Blast is expired. Makes it pretty solid against him. Also,
not to mention
the magic damage with Fate's Edict.
DK Disarm and the eventuality of whatever their other core is going to be here, because that kind of puts down a good wall, more or less, to kind of deal with whatever their safe lane pick I imagine they're going to do. I cannot see the world where they take Hello?
Hello?
I heard a meow. Okay, no, it's TA.
You heard
I thought I heard a Mirana. Or like a Luna.
Templar Assassin does not go meow, Pete.
Hey! I didn't hear that much. All I heard was like a purr, and that was it.
All right, buddy.
But, oh, you know what? She said Lanaya. That's what it was.
Yes, of course. Lanaya sounds a lot like meow.
Sir, please. Sir.
All right, Phantom Lancer
not even
picked
that
out. They figured they'd probably
prime
send.
answer.
Yeah.
Like it's the most prime answer you could really go for here. Like you could actually even find an argument to run PL mid versus the versus TA. Be a bad argument, however. But as soon as he's level 6, he could just run down TA every single time.
Yep. I mean, it's pretty good against the Dragon Knight as well. Not a hero. I mean, he's able to tank up, but you remove the hero's mana, he's not able to do anything. You know, a lot of the time, Dragon Knight does feel good against the Phantom Knights at the beginning of team fights. You can clear out his illusions. You're able to stun him up. Breathe fire onto his illusions, significantly reduces their damage as well. But you get on top of anti-mage, you throw these lances onto him, you burn down his mana very quick. He doesn't have a very high mana cap. You clean him up very quickly. You remove his ability to do that much in these team fights, and for that reason, PL does feel good against DK. Troll Warlord banned out last here. Not something that when I have to run the PL against, you get netted. You're just having a miserable time. They did still have the option of Pangolier, who a lot of times is pretty good counter to Troll Warlord, but I think they have something else in mind for their position 3. Batrider's banned out on the side of Extreme. God, I guess it's not fun to play TA against the Batrider either. I'm curious as to how Extreme are going to round this draft out, though. They probably want to play somewhat quickly, right?
Who, Extreme?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the longer the game goes, the more the BM, the more the Beastmaster has farm.
Yeah.
That's literally it. Yeah, they want a quick end to this. That unfortunately, a lot of these quick end heroes are already banned out. Pugno we saw at one point in time. Very quick pushing potential. We saw like all tier 1 towers go down in less than 10 minutes, I believe, in that game. It was a DK Pugna. Or no, it was Death Prophet Pugna, I believe. It might have been Death Prophet Pugna and DK.
There's somebody who's still in the pool is Death Prophet. Yeah, I don't imagine they'll take it here though. Yeah, it's not great for the side of LBZS, and Extreme don't have a position for it as they're trying to look towards their safe laner. I figured it out. They're going to run pause 1 Leshrac. They can no longer run pause 1 Leshrac. They could. It would be more difficult. Yeah, it would definitely be a hard one here. And Viper is also very good against this TA in the mid.
Obviously, poison
That's rough.
sting or poison attack, more or less,
还剩10秒。
is
good
not
pick.
really a great mana trade. But you know, the CS war. This is the thing with Viper is that if you're losing in lane, just press W on the creep wave, walk away.
Yeah, I mean, Viper is a very good pick. One of the solutions to this game is picking up either a Spectre or a Riki, or a Phantom Assassin to jump the backline. All these heroes rely on their passives to do a bunch of damage, though, or to survive in these team fights. And Viper can counter that out. Quick Nether Toxin out of the ground. What can you do? Extreme.
Not
have
to mention the
very
Atos
good
eventual
options.
build.
Yeah, and they
And
end
the
up grabbing one of
Spectre.
those things.
Okay, well,
请选择英雄。
I'm sorry. There is no answer to this Beastmaster.
Is the Beastmaster you're going to struggle against in the lane. Switch us over to webcams one more time before we start. But yeah, the Viper pickup was very heads up. Again, it would have been the Spectre, the PA, or the Riki that would have been good picks last year for the side of Extreme. But LBZS, they just seem to have them figured out now. I definitely prefer their draft. I think Leshrac would have been slightly better as a pickup as a position 1, but then you're worried about how you're going to carry into the late game. So nice solution there by LBZS, picking that up preemptively. Definitely my favorites for the series. I'm surprised that it got to 3 games. I thought it would be a quick 2-0 for LBZS, given from what I've seen from them in the past. Extreme did a decent job, grabbing those Roshans, knowing they wouldn't be able to fight into them with the Aegis in game number 1, but we'll see if they can have these strokes of brilliance in the 3rd game here that won them the first one.
I mean, it feels very much like it's an LBZS game. Like there's so many ways they probably could have picked in retrospect to counter it, but it was like you're saying, if they ran a Leshrac 1, they'd be lacking damage coming the mid to later game of the stage of the game. But at least you'd be getting to the mid to late stage of the game. The thing is with LBZ's draft is that, like, sure, the Beastmaster build is going to be the Aghanim Scepter runoff build, no matter what. But it does take a little bit of time. And a lot of these heroes do not capitalize off that little bit of time. The closest thing you have is Spectre. And in reality, the Spectre is not going to have a great lane. You're hoping for something that can let her jungle. So, like, the Chipped Vest. Or, I mean, I was going to say Cloak of Flame, but that's tier 4. So that's a long ways away. But there's just not really much that the Spectre's going to be able to do to farm. And the other problem is that TA is one of those mids that does need a lot of farm in order to function. You need the Blink Dagger, you need the Desolator, or you could go for the old Medallion build, which is much worse. But there's a lot of things you need on this TA to end up getting farm out and, like, being able to turn this game around. And the Spectre needs that exact farm the TA's taken.
Yeah. These are so many issues for them on top of the complete outdraft here. So Extreme Gaming, Pete, they have their work super cut out for them here. If they manage to hold this, I think it's just off of, like, TA having an amazing game. I'm not sure what the rest of them are going to be able to do here, and given this potential mid matchup, I'm not sure how you're going to have that amazing game.
Not to mention, there's still no answer for PL. Like, we're looking at everything else.
That's
The
Irving
closest-
on Viper. My bad.
征战号角，下全场。
Oh, speaking of that, though, Viper is going to be stunned up here, and he actually is going to be claimed as the first blood. You do see him picking up the Nether Toxin as well, so this is a mid Beastmaster. I believe that is actually what the meta is, though, is that it is a mid Beastmaster.
Yeah, was that 3 runes as well?
I believe so.
3
Going
runes,
to Extreme.
First blood? They're going to need it. That's all I'm going to say. Thankfully, it is a Beastmaster mid against the TA rather than the Viper. The TA would struggle a lot more in the Viper matchup. But I guess, again, they're just worried about getting this Aghanim Scepter online as quick as possible for the Beastmaster.
I mean, you could see how much damage this Beastmaster is able to pump out already, because they know he went Psyblades at 1. Like Storm, he can't just trade right clicks with Beastmaster if he's got stacks of the Wild Axes on him.
Yep. See if
That's the other big thing too, is that a lot of people forget about the it amps everything from Beastmaster, not just Beastmaster's axes. It's everything.
Yeah, it's you end up dying very quickly. I've watched like a couple of like death recaps and fights where I'm not sure where a hero goes. By the time you have like a couple of axes built up on you, you take like 500 damages from one set, and then it's like 600 from the next set. It gets pretty insane. Storm. I mean, he's doing some decent harass here with these side blades. I'll give him that much. He needs to have an amazing lane for his team, though. This game is going to be won off the back of hard work from Templar Assassin if Extreme Gaming win it. Xiaofu down here in the bottom lane. Playing pretty far forward, trying to harass the enemies out. PL struggling a little bit so far. Just a couple of CS, but now Wave underneath his tower. He'll be able to find himself a couple more last hits. 2 minutes rolls around.
We're going to get them water runes. No bottles available just quite yet. I believe that it's going to be one coming out on the Beastmaster pretty soon here. And he was also going to go for a soul ring afterwards. TA likely to get her own. I believe it is coming on the courier now. But that's the big thing about these water runes, right? Is it gives so much for so little.
Yep.
They do find a courier clip actually in the bot lane here on the MS's courier. But Storm now with the bottle.
Storm left both water runes, by the way. He's, about 1/3 a level ahead of the Beastmaster because of it. Beastmaster leaving lane twice to go grab each of the water runes. I think Storm wanted to get his bottle before he picked any of them up. It just wasn't worth his time prior to that. But HP and mana is pretty high anyways. Aqua dropping pretty low.
Yeah, there's not much he could really do about this one. That being said, though, he does manage to find maybe this kill on Cat U, but the one melee creep under the tower will protect Cat U in this scenario. They will lose his courier underneath the tower, however.
Yeah, this is another, I think, like Chinese region specialty that I didn't touch on that much, is the Viper and the Tusk together in the off lane. Just like the amount of slow that comes out, you're stuck underneath another toxin for so long. He's always getting more auto attacks off onto you thanks to the tag team. It pairs so well with shards. Other regions don't run these two heroes together as often. It's just impossible to survive against it though once they're on top of you.
And that's the other thing too about that lineup is that if they can run it anywhere, they can run it on any draft. It's not like one lane in particular really counters it. Viper rips into heroes, and I mean, what was the next close? I remember there was another crazy draft that was really good with the Tusk. It wasn't Pango. I remember thinking that the
Wind
Pango
Ranger?
thing worked. Yeah, Windy was another good one. Sorry, Wind.
Wind.
None of the NA people are here. They get really mad when I say Windy.
Why do they get mad when you say windy?
Because apparently Windy isn't what you call the hero.
It's not, but
Everybody calls her Windy.
I don't see why this is that big of a deal. If you want to call her
Well-
windy, go for it.
Well, ask NA chat. I got flamed on Reddit for it.
Well, Reddit will flame you for anything.
Good point.
Your issue here, Pete, is
Good
showing
point.
weakness. Much like how Beastmaster is showing a little bit of weakness here to Storm, sitting in half HP. Makes himself pretty easy to zone out of the lane.
团全面加固。
Might
I
have
mean,
to
this
move
is
in
the lane
jungle.
that the TA has to win. It was going back to your original statement that this has to go well for TA in this lane. And since it's a Beastmaster in the mid, it's not Irving, it can go that way. Well, you do see they want to maybe a little bit of a fight out onto this. Wow, that Aqua just dies immediately. However, they will trade it off with Irving, and that's a much more important trade. In fact, they could find Cat U, but no. Even B for the time being here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Viper very slow hero. No way you're getting out of that one with Inkswell movement speed buff on you. Just
Yeah,
get run
slow
down
Sky Snake.
Yep. Is it 275 or is it 280?
I think he's 280 now.
Yeah. Doesn't.
I
feel
think he
good.
actually got a 5 movement speed buff last patch.
Nice.
A lot of
Speedy
these
Sky
random
Snake.
heroes got 5 movement speed buffs.
A lot of movement speed was also nerfed though.
Well, that's the
Shrink
thing,
was
right?
also
Dota is primarily based around move speed. And it looks like, speaking of move speed, you ain't moving too far. They were trying to get the kill on the Spectre there, but no reveal or anything like that that could find her underneath the tower. But that's the big thing here is that Spectre cannot fight under those kinds of circumstances. He has to dagger defensive every time.
Yep. Speaking of defensive, again, this Beastmaster back in the jungle. The Oracle takes this opportunity to leech some XP mid. So I'm gonna TP. Oh.
Cat U TPing to the bot lane here. They saw that one completely. They did not see the TP of the PA, but still Aenid might be going down here anyways. The tag team does quite a bit of damage here. No mana for Snowball. Aenid just going to hit him with a little bit of a fire, but will end up getting the kill. Meanwhile, they kill Irving yet again up in the top lane.
Yeah. So, for reference, anybody, it did visually look like the tag team was affecting the illusions there on PL. It slows you for the full amount, but it doesn't do any of the bonus damage that it does for heroes. So it's good in PL the way that you're not moving anywhere because you're getting that 0.4 slow off way more often thanks to that Spirit Lance, but it's not doing any of the bonus damage.
Yeah, the only quote-unquote summons that actually get to do more damage used to be actually the Necronomicon, but it's not there anymore.
Yes, it's sure not. Feels a lot. It feels pretty good as a support player. The fact that Necro doesn't exist.
Yeah, what a change. That's that like makes it to where supports can Dagon the Necronomicon. We're not really Dagon the Necronomicon, but yeah, that's not there anymore. So you don't have to worry about that Dagon as a Crystal Maiden pressing ult underneath Necronomicon units.
Yeah, it's not fun. Pause comes out. See what that one's about. They find a Faded Brooch on the Viper, so that'll help him with some of his movement speed problems. Having that much more mana to work with always feels pretty nice. It's possible they just pass it off to the Beastmaster, but we'll have to see. TA, top of the net with charge, 500 above the next highest hero. On the way to this Desolator. Again, this game is going to be won off the back of the TA having a really good time if they manage to win this one, but it is a very difficult game. They're up 1k net worth right now, but again, outdrafted pretty hard here. LBZS have so many solutions. The PL, great against the DK and the Spectre when the late game rolls around. Or sorry, the TA and the DK as the late game rolls around. Viper, super good against Dragonite, super good against Templar Assassin, super good against Spectre. It's going to be a real struggle for them. So, the question is if they just... Question LBZS, do you lose your lane super hard? If not, then you'll probably just win. Or if... Extreme throw a fight that like they by all means should win and they'll end up losing the game.
It doesn't really seem like overall they are losing their lanes though. It seems relatively even across the board and they're winning mid.
Yeah.
Most definitely. That's the 1k difference between the Beastmaster and TA.
Which is why I was surprised that we didn't see a Viper in the mid lane than Beastmaster into the off lane, because Viper, is having the time of his life up in the off lane. I feel like he'd have just as good of a time against a Templar Assassin, but Beastmaster would probably have a better time up there in the off lane. Because you just want the levels up a little bit faster on the Beastmaster. Want to be hitting that 7 to 4 points of Wild Axe as quick as possible. Get your Aghanim Scepter as quick as possible. But that kind of attitude has led to TA being pretty high up on the net worth chart.
Well, they'll find a way to recover it, though, I imagine. It is a high farm game, and the fact that everyone on the side of LBZ have really good farming potential come to the late to mid to whatever stage of the game. Because all you have to do is, like we see here, pop another toxin, bada bing, bada boom. And, yeah. Why am I being flamed in your Discord? I see that in there. Why am I being flamed in there? Excuse me.
My bad. Focus.
Dude, move speed is important.
That wasn't me who said that.
Well, heck that guy.
I get
Anyway,
pinged in a
Beastmaster in trouble here. They will drop a roar. They will throw out the haunt here, but Beastmaster with nowhere really to go. They're going to snowball to the high ground here, but is going to end up resulting in his death either way. And now Storm going to turn this around. In fact, they find two. Might be able to get Zhao Fu here as a TA trap will claim the slow, and Irving going to start the TP. There's no way that they can really interrupt it. And they will find 3 kills. The price of none.
Yeah, very good finds there, but still, Phantom Lancer's farming away while you're doing all that. Again, Templar Assassin doing pretty well. Bottom tower was found by DK at the same time, as you like to say.
Huh?
Come on.
Oh, no.
Say the line, Pete.
DK press ult. DK press R tower, go boom.
Thank you, Pete. So
I'm going to get that on a chat wheel box for you.
Thank you. It has to be the original one, though.
You mean like the one that's the, like just the little like
first one you did it
thing? Oh,
Yeah.
you mean the original one? Yeah, I can get the original one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have the VOD of the original one.
Yeah. When we were talking about Fairy Trinket on Beastmaster last game, they managed to find it this game. They find one on Extreme as well. Templar Assassin gets the drop. So when Aghanim Scepter, when Aghanim Scepter comes out on the Beastmaster, things are going to be even more difficult. 5% cheaper mana cost on throwing out those axes, 5% extra spell amp. It gets very scary. MS continuing to farm up. TA is having an excellent time, though. I did say that, you know, if they do win this game, it will be off the back of Templar having an amazing game, and it looks like that's starting to happen. 5.4k net worth now on the TA. 3k net worth on the Beastmaster. We're approaching the warning the enemy mid has double your net worth at 10 minutes.
Yeah, that is going to be a very scary scenario once it gets to that. But you're right, it is getting very close to that. And the other situation is that your PL is behind the net worth of the Spectre, of whom had a much harder lane to deal with. So your lanes and your game is getting a little scary here. They are going to go at least for this kill on the top, but they will TP in too. And they hit him with the cold feet, and they're going to get him with the good old stunny do. And DK will find the kill. Actually, it's going to be Karker, the one to get it instead. They will, yeah, they get the 1-for-1 support pick off there. The DK ult is live and ready. I mean, MS sitting at half HP. You do see that Grimstroke is off on the sidelines. Spectre farming in the jungle. Don't know if Spectre got chipped fest or not, but she farming good.
Probably just the blade mail.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you really need on the hero. Pretty important against the Viper as well. I think the hero is just, blade mail is just necessary on Spectre to farm.
Blast goes through. They find MS.
Yep, he's forced
But
to.
with the doppel just in time, he's out of there, more or less.
Yep. Drops it to W on him, heals him up a little bit. For the majority of that one, he's not going to be that healed, but he had to leave pretty quickly as they want to rotate mid, defend this tower here. Aghanim Scepter not done yet on the Beastmaster. Not only is it 6.1k net worth to the 4k right now, but if you took a look, he's just hit level 9 on his Beastmaster, almost sitting at level 12 on the Templar Assassin. It is a 3-level advantage. Or just about. I think he's like 100 XP off. He will be. If you can catch him here, this would be big! But he's got a blink.
I mean, that's just what it is, right? This blink dagger is picked up very early, and he could just get out of all these engagements because the closest thing they have is the snowball. There's no blink dagger on this Beastmaster. This isn't the classic Beastmaster Shadow Blade blink build where you just roar and kill the enemy. No, this is the new Aghanim Scepter build. You have no real initiation. It's just coming to the line of the Tusk getting a good snowball.
Man, this Beastmaster is not having a good game. Net worth advantage hasn't really changed in the last couple of minutes now. It's still 3k net worth advantage, which you don't want very close to the post-laning phase. You don't want this either. Taking some harass here in the mid lane. Storm playing very aggressive. You desperately need this Aghanim Scepter completed on Beastmaster, and you're still only halfway there.
Top lane. Snowball. Cold feet. Boom, boom. Nope. Nothing doing there. Just to push him back for the time being. The PL is up here in the top, though. Just starting to prove a little bit scary. The DK near his blink dagger. They do find the roar. The punch is available out on the Storm, but he is going to be able to get the shields up in time. No, he's got to know. He's had 1 second left on shield. And it looks like OOQ is going to be next in the trouble line here, as they are going to get an Ice Charge going out there. The Spectral Dagger not available. Does have Blade Mail with 7-1 charges, though. Blade Mail off cooldown. There is a TA trap. A Wild Axis gets tossed out. OOQ, he wants to survive. They will throw the slow, but MS looks for him and finds him. They will get a kill here. They get the 2 big core kills, actually, and probably this mid tower as a result.
They're going to do some damage to this one. I'm not sure they're going to be able to bring it down. There's AA there. There's the AA blast, and
Blink Dagger reveal on A in it as well.
Heal him up.
MS, though, like you were talking about, the heal is going to be available, so likely
so it's all calculated at the end of it. So basically, any healing that you get during the Oracle ult is still applied normally, and then at the end it decides whether or not the AA blast is applied. If the AA blast is applied, your HP doesn't go up. If it's not, then it does go up, if that makes sense. Dota 2 is a game with a lot of mechanics.
Yes. all I could say.
The healing is all calculated at the same time and credited to Oracle. So that means there's a couple cool things in the game as well. So Paladin Sword,
They left. Oh, they find the wrong MS, but they hit everything else on the right MS.
If only he had Doppelganger back up. But yeah, there's a couple cool things. Because all healing inside Oracle Alt is credited to Oracle, Holy Locket will amplify all healing done to you inside Oracle Alt by 35% if Oracle holds it.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't think an Oracle is ever going to run that, though. Because an Oracle is never going to have that amount of gold.
It's cheaper.
I mean, it's good if you only really want that. If they nerf cast range again, they might do that. Back at top lane, Snowball is there, but they time it just right. They aren't going to end up getting the Inkswell stun. In fact, they throw out a Tusk Punch here, but they will throw out the Soul Bind. It's throwing out 2 Spectral Daggers as a result, which does a lot of damage. Both Catyu and Irving, they will both fall. And they might be going for this Oracle as well. Zhaofu in trouble, not hit by the stun, though. He is going to be spotted. And they will find this kill. OOQ able to get yet another pick here, and this is scary for LBZS. They had the better draft, but they just can't keep the gold.
It comes down to the bad mid performance here of the Beastmaster. I feel they got a couple of return kills. Things have not gotten significantly worse since post laning phase, though. I will say, Beastmaster almost has his Aghanim Scepter done. Once he does, they can start finding kills of their own. It's just about there.
At you, we'll find the punch out onto Aqua. They will throw an AA blast. We'll slow down Catyu for the time being, but the Desolator is live out onto this TA.
Yep.
She will start chunking your team fights with this Blink Dagger initiation. And Storm does see him in the mid here, likely to see that the Desolator is live as well.
Yeah. So now, Blink Deso, very scary. Oracle has to be worried about that one. You're going to have to be very quick on these disarms, or buy yourself a... yeah, you probably have to buy yourself a Ghost Scepter pretty quickly, which is going to be a while.
So the Ags is up on the Beastmaster now. The Blink Dagger is up on the Tusk. Your supports are very good lineup supports now. Catyu is able to save people adequately. He's able to jump onto people with actual fear. And by fear, I mean inciting actual fear. It looks like LBZS, they will smoke from the low ground here. Don't think the ward scouted it. They were just in range. They drop a scan in the mid here to find out if there's anybody that could help Aenid here. And the Blink Dagger reveal is going to be thrown out there with the roar to follow through. And you just see the Beastmaster is going to try to rip into him as much as humanly possible. A blast gets thrown out. It's not going to land on anybody, actually. Not even the cross hitch will find a kill. They will find this kill out onto Catyu, however. Slowing down this Beastmaster board for the time being. LBZS, they're kind of squabbled with what they're going to do here. AA is going to go deward the sentry up here. But Storm, he's around. They're going to go for Aqua. They have the Purge and the Beastmaster Axis, and
he just doesn't know.
I mean, what are you going to do? Beastmaster do it. He gonna get you. Disarm's going to be out on this TA. Irving is going to look for the jump, but with Blink Dagger out in time. And the Aphotic Shield preventing the damage from going out there.
It is so busted. Doesn't matter how far behind you are. You just have your egg in him Scepter. You get kills.
I mean, that's Beastmaster meta. It is throw axes, get kill. Throw axes, get money.
He's got very, very trinket too. Whatever, man. Dota 2. Alright, 2k net worth advantage now. Diffusal Blade now completed on the Phantom Lancer. Another very important item pickup. Being able to burn down Storm and DK's mana. You know, even if they survive these initial jumps onto them, they won't have mana to use Breathe Fire multiple times in a team fight. They aren't able to use Dragon Tail. They aren't able to use Refraction. They're going to get torn apart really quickly. Now you need very good initiations. Blink Dagger is the correct pickup here. You need your BKB next here on the Templar Assassin, though.
I mean, she's leading the net worth pretty heavily to get that BKB very quickly here. Blink in, Aenid. They find this kill out on Catyu. You're not picking off Aqua today, but they will find him either way. Soulbind is going to slow down this aggression here from Irving.
Jesus.
They do want to keep on applying pressure. They realize now with this Beastmaster Ags that they could do exactly that.
He's
and throw Q
the
every single second of the day.
Yeah, he's holding Essence Ring instead of a Fairy Trinket here. it is good against Ancient Apparition. It increases your HP, the HP on your hero by 500 rather than healing you by 500. So it does heal you under AA Blast.
Yeah, it increases your base HP pool.
Yep.
Which
is ridiculous.
That's the big kicker of that.
They did that because it was like
Roshan.
really broken to have on certain heroes.
AA
and
Blast?
that's the way of nerfing it.
It is at half HP, but the blink in from Anid, though, they do have the blink in from the TA, who has an active DD room, but TA just stunned up immediately from this roar. It's going to put him down, but at the same time, Beastmaster not in the same boat here. He will end up going down. He actually buys back immediately as he wants to get back into the fight because he wants to use this Axe to the best of the capability, plus they can't surrender this Roshan. They're going to buy back immediately. MS sitting very low HP on the sidelines here. OOQ still waiting out to figure out what he wants to do here. No mana for a Spectral Dagger toss. But it looks like they're going to go back into it again. Beastmaster getting the stacks back up again.
Let me tell you why Beastmaster Eggs is ridiculous part 2. Even if they commit super hard onto Beastmaster here, the Oracle is going to keep him alive. It doesn't matter how awful his game is. He's going to be alive for a couple of seconds, and that's going to be enough to kill this TA. Oh.
Oh no, more spell damage.
It'd be a real shame if Beastmaster were to do even more damage with his axes.
I don't think he's going to use it, though. I imagine he might hold on to Essence Ring anyway. Rod of Atos revealed onto Irving there. I believe we saw it in the last team fight anyway. But now you see that LBZS with this... They've got the farm that they could take these towers now with a little bit more finesse.
Yep. Now, you do need a little bit more farm on this Phantom Lenser. He was only sitting at level 15. He's behind the Templar Assassin. He's behind the Spectre. So he is in a pretty good place in this game overall, but I don't know. They're up 4K net with 6K XP on Extreme still. Take this tier 2 tower. That'll open up Outpost. Talked about that one. Yeah, 70% win chance.
That is kind
it doesn't
of
feel like it.
I don't know. That still feels believable. The only reason you say it doesn't feel like it's because Beastmaster axes.
Yep. Templar Assassin
He
is getting closer to this BKB though.
Speaking of that, though, TA might be in trouble here. Ooh,
nice dodge there by
unable
Storm.
to find the punch.
That's some quick reaction time there by Storm, but unfortunately he didn't TP out.
He had 12 seconds left on the TP when he was coming by.
Oh, yeah.
So he wasn't able to get the TP out of there. They do find the kill on Storm. It's quite unfortunate. I think if he kept on running, he might have been able to get out of that one instead of just making the turn dive there.
Yeah, he was hoping for the best, but again, pretty common sentry location anyway,
Ream.
so ends up getting caught out.
They're going for a trade at least. The AA Blast, but perfect timing from the Snowball. The Roar is there as well. The Soulbind going to be dedicated, but Soulbind isn't going to really bind too much here as they will only really get one. They do drop another double cold feet. Is going to land at least on Irving. Well, they get 2 cold feet on that one, but I mean Beastmaster, you know.
Yeah, I do know.
Beastmaster, dude. Like, it's crazy how Beastmaster, of all the heroes,
all right, he's got the shard. Hold on, he's got the dive bomb with the Hawks. Let's go.
They buffed the dive bomb, actually. I remember reading that they made the shard more appealing, more or less. And speaking of appealing, though, Cat U is going to actually die to a blade mail punch there. While MS trying to figure out where he wants to go here. Maybe trying to bait a fake PL here, but they do lose one for this one. They did expend quite a bit there. No BKB used up quite yet, though. They do know that Storm has it, however.
Yeah, this is a very important pickup. Axes, unfortunately, do not pierce BKB, so you'll have 9 seconds of being alive in a team fight. You also aren't able to have your mana drained by the PL illusions here. You'll still be able to cut through your refraction pretty quickly if he gets on top of you, but it'll be able to wail away on your team. You'll be able to survive for the duration of the Beastmaster getting hit by that Oracle ultimate. So this one is a very big pickup. You're still doing good on the Templar Assassin. It all comes down to how effectively you're able to use this BKB, though. Once it's down to 6 seconds, it's going to be a little bit rougher.
Tag team. Aqua. Insta-dead. They do end up throwing an AA Blast, though. Very barrel stuffy there, as well as a Haunt, which I believe might have been miscommunicated there.
Yeah. I think they were hoping that a couple heroes were a little bit further away. If they were, they would have been able to take that fight, turn things around, because they did have a bunch of people in position. But now Haunt on cooldown for a little while. And I think...
Parker. Oh, he's got no TP.
Yeah.
He's just gone.
Mhm.
Is he? Oh, hang on. Finds the punch on TA, actually. This is huge if they get her, and they do. Storm's just dead, and they will still find the kill on Karker in the bot lane. They get two picks with this.
Yeah,
This
now
free mid tower.
Blink Dagger completed on the Beastmaster.
中塔正受到
Able to get on top of your targets, hit him with that roar, disable TA through her BKB. Game becomes hard once again. Net worth advantage finally swung the way of LBZS. LBZS, they're up 3k net worth, 3k XP, 4k net worth now.
塔已被摧
They're running down this tower. They're placing the Hawks in place. They got the dive bombs available.
I cannot believe that we're about to re-witness the birth of Dive Bomb.
烈焰中塔正受
You can move it around freely. It looks like the Tusk Shard is spec'd up
Can't.
as well.
They took that away again.
Oh, right. I thought they added it back in with the shard.
No.
Okay, so they're just kind of sentries, more or less.
烈焰
Yeah.
中塔
They.
Can you set it to where they auto dive bomb when an enemy gets close?
I've never actually tried dive bomb.
I was curious when I saw it the first time, but after they made the change, whoa,
Yeah,
the win
yep,
probability.
Yep. That's what it should have looked like
I mean,
earlier when the axes were out.
Beastmaster.
Yep.
I like, again, going back to the statement I didn't finish. It's weird how Beastmaster, after a meta that gets rid of the Necronomicon completely, is still the #1 feared hero in Dota 2.
Yeah. I thought he was done for when they. Well, I thought the
I
axes
thought
were a little bit
Lycan was done
ridiculous.
for.
Lycan's kind of done for.
Wait, dude, there's a combat Lycan build now.
I mean,
It's the Echo Saber.
he's
in.
underwhelming. This is
In
not
trouble here.
underwhelming.
Dive
Dive
bomb.
bomb, let's go!
It breaks- it just destroys them, actually. That's a lot of damage that comes from Dive Bomb. And now they're going to go for more here. They do find Cat U actually in a quick trade-off here. And Irving likely to die as well as he's taking a lot of burn damage, at least trying to find some return. And they do find OOQ as he hits the floor, and Storm starts the TP out. Unable to find the jump on the Aqua there, though. They will still only get the 2 trades for that one, but huge pickoffs for them. The DK dead, the Spectre dead, and all you lost was your Viper and your Tusk, of course, but your Viper, easy.
Yeah, this game becoming too difficult for Extreme. TA, she itemized correctly. I think going Blink Dagger, Deso, BKB was the correct way, but letting Beastmaster through, a bit of a mistake. Phantom Lanes are also great this game, and now they just have too much farm. Storm, pop that Blink a little bit too early.
Yeah, that's what the bait was here. They were trying to get the bait off the Blink there. The dive bomb, boom, there it goes. They will find the kill.
Yeah. Dropping
Dive
the timbers.
bomb.
Yeah, thank you very much for that one, Cat U.
下塔正受
Yeah, this is one of those games where you'll see one of us casters go to our Twitter and just post dive bomb. That's literally
no
what
context.
this game feels. There's no context, just a picture of dive bomb's icon.
Well, it's axes are the MVP.
good
Dive
point.
bomb is, for the fans.
I'm
Dive
gonna
bomb's
take
for the
that
fans.
tweet. Don't take that from me. That's mine. I'm gonna do it right now.
Yes, I will not take that from you, Pete.
You've already taken so much from me. You made me a robot for a whole series.
Oh, right, I remember Robo Pete.
天辉军团
Wonder how he's doing these days.
I don't know. I don't know who you're talking about. That's not a real person. Back in bot lane though, the real thing's going down here. So you do see the TP out from the AA. Will be the time being. So Karker will fall. Likely TP'd down to the bot lane and died because he had no TP available. Cloak of Flames is going to be found for OOQ though. That's another good item for her. Good farming item for the Ghoul Spectre.
Yeah, there's a couple items that they're working right now on Extreme. They're a little bit off. BKB almost completed here on the Dragon Knight. I have Scotty is still about 600 gold away from on the Spectre. If you could, yeah, there's your BKB. Probably sold something off to finish that. But you can finish these items here. You might be able to take this next teamfight draw out this game. Excuse me.
TA shard, because I know the Ags is that she can blink to her traps. What is the TA shard?
TA shard? That one was... Hold on. Was that the
正在扫描。
meld?
Oh, yeah.
That's the meld.
I
What did it
remember.
do again? I don't remember though.
I know that it has to do with meld, but it's not meld mini stuns. Meld mini stuns is a talent.
Why don't I
Well, anyway,
remember the TA? I feel like I should.
Well, they are smoked up. They want to go for the jump on A-Nid, but the Blink Dagger reveals as well as the E-Blade forces the BKB. The trap silences. Got it. That's actually pretty good. That's actually really good.
Yeah, that is very good.
烈焰下
It's
塔
Yeah,
good
'cause I
against
saw
the
them going
Beastmaster.
for it, so...
He can
Yeah,
stop
it was
his
Silence
axes for a while.
Beastmaster. That's the whole play here. Dive bomb. God, that does so much damage.
Yeah, it's pretty funny for sure. He's still holding on to his Nether Shawl as well. And the Shiva's Guard. I think you might
There's
need
no
a BKB.
creeps there. Calm down, sir. There's no creeps.
It doesn't even
It's
matter to
Roshan
him
time.
anymore. It barely costs any mana. 65 mana to throw these things out. No cares.
And he doesn't even have a Kassange yet.
Yeah.
Like, it is crazy stuff. But now, time for this Roshan. Can be contested. You see the DK is off on the sidelines here, but it looks like they're just going to have to let this go. No scans available.
Not
And your
even
core is in the bot lane. They do have Haunt. Rosh is at half HP. You see Aided pumping the stun, but they're going to hold it back. Maybe going for the steal instead here. Very laggy here going on, but they are going to find the roar immediately out onto one. And actually, this is a dead storm in literal seconds. Aided has the BKB, though, as you see OOQ is in the Roshan pit. He gets the Rosh and the kill. The money and the goal and the prize is stole for them. Don't know what they ended up taking, though, as a return. I believe the cheese is actually picked up on the PL. In fact, it is, and the shard is on the Beastmaster. They will go for this kill on Aenid, though, as they will find all these fights in the pit, but they just can't quite get it as OOQ's Spectre Split jump does wear out. They will throw out a Rod of Atos out onto Aqua. He will go down. The AA Blast goes through, confirming likely the kill at least on one of these heroes. Beastmaster TP's home. Not
Oracle
going to
says
find
no.
the confirm out on the Beast. Yeah, nobody actually dies from this.
Oracle keeping that Tusk alive there, popping that W onto him. I'm not sure what they're going to be able to do. There was such a sick steal there by the Spectre, but Extreme, they're too far behind to be able to fight into them at this point. 12k net worth advantage, 19k XP. When you pull a play like that and you still can't win a team fight, it just feels so bad. I mean, they did great laning phase. They ended up like 4k ahead of them at 10 minutes, but outdrafted and then just playing against these heroes that are insanely powerful in this patch. PL, Beastmaster, too much for them to deal with.
I mean, it's just, it's the straight up story of this game is do not forget to ban the Beastmaster. That's literally it. Like, as soon as that Beastmaster was in the pool, and they banned out, I think, at least one or two of the other heroes that were good against this Beastmaster. It was actually the crazy end-up run on that.
Mm-hmm. Irving.
It looks to be. I mean, they're kind of just running around now, though. The Roshan, since it's not available, they lost it in that pit fight. Can't really like throw around their money too much right now. Sure, you're at a 15k net worth lead, 19k XP, but it's still very possible to lose this. There are 2 BKBs on the side of Extreme. They could just return damage it, but their pride and confidence on the side of LBZS are overflowing, more or less.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Axes come out again. This clears out farm so quickly as well. Now
my
they're
God,
smoked
that
up.
actually
They're
is a
looking
lot
to
of
close
spoils.
this game out.
Yeah, they jump immediately out onto this DK. He has to pop the BKB, but the roar gets expended. As you see, MS is going to be the one to kind of respond to this, as they do see
TP, they can cancel
that
this.
the
BKB
punch
expires.
is not available. He's just dead.
Yep.
The BKB was at low time. They ended up getting the Rod of Atos at the end of the TP timer, and they will end up getting the kill as a result.
And now.
And the birds are getting set up for the push onto the bot lane by the looks of it. However, you do see that the Grimstroke is pushing the bot creeps.
Yeah, he's just trying to keep the lane shove. If he can get them back, if he can stall out for this Dragon Knight, he wants to. He's got buyback available, but his BKB is on cooldown. Dragon form on cooldown. If he buys back here, all he's going to do is put himself further behind. He can't really
Well, the
afford
shard
to.
has been revealed actually out on the TA. Silences MS quite a bit there. The buyback is going to go up by the DK as they find the stun on the side of Cat U. Now they're going to go over to the PL. The PL is getting quite low here as well. Does have a heart and has a lot of regen available. He just needs to get close to this the Oracle to heal so, but the AA Blast going through it might actually be the reason his death can be confirmed, but he's actually very low at the time being, so he is going to be able to escape. But no, the AA Blast burn is going to be enough to get the kill as OOQ is needing to get out there. The E-Blade does get thrown out, though. OOQ will end up going down the Beastmaster very low. There's no H's, no nothing, no E-Blade to save him. He will fall, and the only one alive is going to be Zhao Fu, who TPs away. That's 4 dead on the side of LBZS. While Extreme, they take it home.
Yeah, just barely managing to kill that PL there. I don't, did he pop the cheese while the AA Blast was on him inside the Oracle ult?
Yes.
Oh my.
He popped cheese with the Oracle ult going on him, and the AA Blast came through the second he clicked it.
Yeah, so the AA Blast persisted through the end of that one. So regardless of him normally going to heal up towards the end of that, his HP didn't increase at all. I think he just, like the second last tick, ended up getting finished off there. If he stays alive, that fight maybe turns out a little bit differently. But they managed to hold against all odds there. LBZS just thinking they were a little bit stronger than they were. That AA, you know, talking down to it in the draft here, I was thinking, all right, it's not really a meta pick, doesn't look that amazing, but it ended up winning them that team fight. Very important there. Now they managed to grab these tier 2 towers, so open up outposts for them. I don't think they'll be able to go high ground. Viper could just throw out Nether Toxin onto the creep wave, but they gain back some ground. Look at that, a sliver of hope.
It moved 4% in Extreme's favor.
I mean, it is still a very difficult game. They have a number of counters here, but you know, BKB are up on several heroes here, and it's starting to add up.
Looks like the looks like it's just back over to the farm now, though. It's the Roshan. It's like I was talking about on game number 1 of today. You get to this point in the game where it's 20-minute plus game. Maybe 25-minute plus game. 20 minutes might be a little bit more grandizing. But once you're at the point in time where it's this late in the game, it is based off of Roshan.
Yeah, I don't like these items. Okay, I like that a little bit better on the Phantom Lancer. He's going for the Eye of Scotty. Very important against Spectre, very important against TA, Dragon Knight, being able to reduce their regen, slow ranged heroes by 50%. I don't like Viper going for this Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, the Ags Viper isn't actually that good. It's still the old, it's still the current one, right? Where it's just he presses R and it has
reduced cooldown. It's good sometimes.
Reduced cooldown.
Yep. It's reduced cooldown, reduced mana cost. It's good sometimes. This game, it doesn't look amazing. I think he's just concerned about the BKBs. So it will slow people down. It will disable Blink Daggers through BKB. TA will be attacking significantly slower. She'll take a lot of magic damage. It kind of makes the lower timing BKBs useless. Illusionist Cape now for the PL.
Oh, that's actually insane. That makes a lot of extra damage. I did some testing with it basically. Let's say I had a word like the axe. I had an axe that had like 6,000 HP. Versus a PL who had probably about the HP that this PL has with the Illusionist Cape, and then a PL without the Illusionist Cape. Axe won with the PL that didn't have one, and Axe lost terribly with the PL that did. Like, the Illusionist Cape is actually just the S-tier god item in a PL game.
They did nerf the output damage of non-hero units with it. I think it's down to 6% now. But
I mean, it's still pretty strong for the HP reason.
Yeah, the HP, the agility. The thing that I like best about it is just like faking out your opponents and let you shove lanes on illusion heroes.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, no, that one doesn't do anything for Beastmaster.
Yeah, normally
Axe is already at 0.
Yeah, you can't reduce 0 by 18%.
Who knows? Math. Stun out on the Viper. They do end up dropping the haunt for this one as Irving starts the TP, but he can't quite get out, and they will actually find the kill on Zhao Fu on the sidelines as well. Now haunting over to the mid here. I believe that was actually just a corpse there.
Alright, Spectre's TP'd back. Haunt is on cooldown though. He's not able to come back into the fight if they so choose. Roshan, we'll see when it's going to respawn the next couple seconds here. It's going to be 45 seconds. This does give enough time for LBZS to come back onto heroes, potentially take this. Getting Roshan is crucial. Being able to stand their ground, have AA commit the blast, come back up afterwards, and then win the team fight is probably their solution. Flicker now found. Still grabbing a couple of these tier 4s. Stormcrafter, awful item.
What, you don't like the Stormcrafter?
Hmm?
How do you not like it? What's wrong with it?
It's awful. It's probably the
Put it
worst
on
neutral
Razor.
item.
Bam, you got 2 lightnings.
Worst neutral item.
Remember when Iron Talon was a neutral item?
That was a very good neutral item.
Oh man, just remember Iron Talon in general. No, actually, Iron Talon in general was bad. That was when everybody was jungling. 56% now. Extreme have a very good chance, but this is a Roshan fight. This is the big one too. This is Refresher Shard. I believe the best you could really get is just having a double BKB for your Beastmaster. Dagger gets thrown out. Aenid's in trouble here. He goes for the first stun initially out onto the Beastmaster. Beastmaster is going to be pushed away for the time being, though. Going to be brought up by a punch. They're going to go for more as there's all these PL illusions lashed up on the side here. Beastmaster has to roar defensively. Has an E-Blade available. Just keeps on throwing axes, but he's nowhere near any heals. He has to blink away, but they will find the stun onto MS. Meanwhile, inside the Roche pit, they are going to go for this kill out onto the Tusk. They find Cat U while Aenid falls as well. Beastmaster trying to get out of here. Mike, the computers are lagging so terribly with all these illusions. Irving, though, in the backlines, going for OOQ, will find the kill. The Karker is going to be next here as he's underneath another Toxin. He's going to go down as well. They're going to look for more as they do find the AA in the middle of the lane here. Aqua going to be in trouble. Here's the slow comes out from Irving. The ult as well with the Aghanim Scepter. They will find this kill as the buybacks go out immediately from Extreme. They want to get back into this fight as soon as humanly possible. But there's just the Haunt illusion that's out here on the sidelines. OOQ trying to make the same play again. Storm is here on the sidelines, though, trying to get some damage up. At the same time, Irving, they need to be inside this pit to confirm it, but the pixels, the frames, everything is just dropping. They will end up getting the Roche kill. They will end up getting the Aegis. Who grabs what is the question. Looks like I can't find out where the cheese is. It looks like they just didn't grab everything here as they are going to find something. They find the cheese out of the PL. The PL does have the Aegis as well. PL gets turned around. They're going to go for Storm. Storm out of mana, Storm out of HP, Storm out of everything, and they will end up going down. Storm will lose his life. That's the dieback for him. They're going to go for Karker. He's slowed up as well. MS comes in with the zippity doodah. He will find this kill, and Karker will go down as MS will find him with the Phantom. With the Phantom Rush.
Yeah, that was.
They get the cheese. They get the Aegis. I don't know where the shard is.
Shard, who knows where that one went, but that
It's
last
in the
team
base.
fight, yeah, that was some sick positioning there from MS. He was waiting for the AA blast to come out in that team fight. He knew, all right, if I go down, it's because I'm not going to be able to swing in and out of these fights. Oracle's not going to be able to save me. Oracle ended up using his ultimate on the Beastmaster pretty early in that team fight. But the MS just waiting on the Radiant high ground there on top of the triangle while his illusions laid into everybody. He didn't need to go in. He just didn't commit for it until he knew it was safe. After he did, the heroes just get blown up left, right, and center. Nothing they were able to do. I mean, TA didn't end up buyback towards the tail end of that fight, though. It was just one small correction. She didn't save for buyback, though. Just a little bit short of it now. Aegis, cheese. Heart of Tarask on this Phantom Lancer. I'm not sure how they bring him down. 4.4k HP. This guy is way too big.
He's a tanky boy, and he's ripping down your towers here. And, I mean, there's not much you can do. Aenid unable to really get any sort of aggression out here. And Roar? Well, they are going to end up using the Minotaur Horn there. Sort of prevent that, at least for the time being. You were still able to roar him anyway, but I think it was just distance. He didn't really care for it.
PL? Why? Alright. MS? He's spent a lot of time not hitting those buildings there.
Might be he's deciding on whether or not it's a Mega Creeps game or if it's just click the middle tower game, but it looks like they are going to line up for the bot here.
Well, not really as easy anymore. Haunt is available. TA's back up. Grimstroke in another 10 seconds. Imagine they're going to have to commit onto this one. One last defense here on XG against the PL with this Aegis, though, and Cheese passed over to Viper. It's going to be a tough one for them.
The shard on the Beastmaster as well for the double roar. That's going to be the scary part here. As soon as Storm tries to do any sort of initiation, the Beastmaster is on the back lines here, ready to just get the roar out. And Storm losing a lot of HP just to these illusions alone. He's actually sitting at half HP here. Aenid, though, smoked up. Shadow Blade, 8 seconds. He jumps in, he finds the immediate stun out onto one. They do end up getting the lasso out there with the soul bind. They do quite a bit of damage here. They will lose the first one onto Catyu. He starts the TP in with the buyback. They do have leashed up Beastmaster. He's going to be brought down as well. Buys back immediately. And they do end up losing the Viper with the Oracle ult. That's not going to save him at the end of the day either. But Storm getting chunked down by these PL illusions. The Beastmaster is back, by the way. He traveled onto his bird that is sitting inside the base. And 7.7 frames later, we will end up finding the kill out onto OOQ as Karker will be next to fall as well. They are going to try to get the save, but no, Zhaofu will go down to the burst damage out from Karker's silence. They are going to jump back in, though. They find the immediate jump on the Oracle. The Oracle is going to go down. The stun goes out. The Beastmaster's dead for the second time, though. Aeonid trying to find literally anything here. The Storm is going to be invis. There's no detection. The gem is on the ground. They took it. DK's got it. The boy running around, but you know, MS is like, okay, I'm just going to hit your buildings because this is all I could do. I got your Aegis, I got the cheese, I got everything.
Yeah. They're going to be able to give him the run around, kite him. He knows it's not important to go for the heroes. Buildings are everything. They need Mega Creeps here. Extreme. They're not going to be able to push back into you if you manage to take this one.
In. Well, nothing else they could do with that. DK Shadow Blades his way out of that one, and Viper with the talent that puts the poison attack out on the towers and buildings will be clicking it down as the GG has been called by Extreme Gaming, where LBZS will take game number 3 of this best of 3 series with a shocking, or not a shocking performance, but an exciting last game performance, even though it was Beastmaster.
Even though it was Beastmaster. It was a lot of fun to watch. There's a couple times that game frame's getting a little bit choppy. So many times, so many things going around in these team fights. The PL illusions, the tag teams on top of that, I think causing a little bit of game lag. But they managed to hold out for a pretty long time there on Extreme. I thought the game was basically over after a certain point, that there'd be nothing they'd be able to do. Once the PL had like got a defusal, I think heart up, it looked kind of impossible for the win once the Beastmaster had his like E-Blade plus Aghanim Scepter. It looked incredibly rough as well, but they managed to turn on them, jump the backline, get the Oracle a few times. Some great performances, or some great blasts coming out from the Ancient Apparition as well. I think that was a pretty big deal for keeping them inside the game. Draft, though, heavily favoring LBZS that game. It's no surprise that they managed to come out on top this game. We're the favorite teams coming into this series. Congratulations for them, you know, taking win after a shaky performance in the upper division.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to get a lot of these wins out near the first month of the season, more or less. I mean, we're in week 2, and it's already looking like a good week for them so far. Now that they've gotten this win under their belt, I believe that they still haven't won too much overall this season, but the season has only just begun. It's good to get these wins off the get-go, and here we could see some of the highlights from this win in particular, hopefully with more than 7.7 frames a second, but that's just the nature of a PL game. It's a lot of illusions to deal with, and I mean, the Roshan fights
were such a sick steal there by OOQ, man. I gotta say, this game I think might have been over if they did end up grabbing that Aegis there. And that cheese ended up being for nothing in the end. It was cheese for what? You popping that as soon as the AA blast ended up connecting with you.
Yeah, I do want to end up seeing that in the team fight. Hopefully we get to see it here. Yeah, this is actually it right now. You can see MS actually just getting chunked here by Storm Silence that he wasn't really like taking into account, more or less here. All right, so let's see this bad boy. He actually, no, he ate the cheese at the start and then got hit with the AA blast at the end.
Yeah, there's the tail end of that one. AA blast connects, and as you see, would have healed up a little bit, and just probably like the last, I think there's probably a couple ticks left. He ends up going down there on the PL regardless, though. And this one is where the Extreme, you know, got a chance back in this game. Beastmaster died back down for 120 seconds. This last team fight, though, watch this this PL's positioning. Keeps illusions on the heroes. He decides to get back. He sits on the top of the hill. Enemies just aren't sure who to go on there. They know that PL is the most important target. Beastmaster, they commit pretty far forward for that one. Ends up, they do manage to take down the Beastmaster as it survived despite all the efforts of this Oracle. But Dragonite way too far up on the hill. Spectre way too far up on the hill. I don't think he'd realize it was the PL was waiting up for him the whole time. Dive bomb, by the way, on the Grimstroke there. Ended up taking down the Spectre before that stun pops. Grimstroke goes down as well. And they just lose hero after hero on the way out. As long as PL is careful with his positioning, he doesn't get blown up by that AA blast and end up losing. Yeah, MVP for MS. Great job this game. Great item pickoffs. Definitely won it for his team. Mid lane, off lane didn't go so good. I'd say this is all off the back of MS having a solid performance.
Yeah, I'd say it was definitely an interesting laning phase overall. I think the last thing that I didn't really account for how the game was going to go, because the TA mid lane was perfect. I thought that was going to be the one that was going to claim the overall run out there, but it just it didn't matter. It's annoying to say that Beastmaster Aghanim Scepter is still the top meta and still the winning thing. But I mean, with Beastmaster in tow, this game going over to LBZS, they're going to do this quick interview here, but we're going to end up, I believe, the main series game in Div 1 has begun, eHome versus SAG, as I believe it was supposed to be right after this series, and it is indeed. It's on its own channel. So what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is that me and Neff are going to sign off and then toss you over to that series over on the Div 1. So, Neff, is there anything you want to say on the way out?
I miss Human Pete, Robot Pete, very fun to cast with. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Congratulations to LBZS for having a better performance so far here in the lower division, showing off some of their strength. Yeah.
Wait, I'm not Robot Pete. What are you talking about? Oh, you missed Robot Pete. That's no. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching the CN DPC Lower Div. We will send you over to the upper division for the eHome SAG game. So thank you so much for watching. This is Party PD and F signing off.
第3局就抢兽王嘛，然后就也没啥角色吧，就看对面选啥，在我们争论下嘛。如果好玩的话就选，然后搬下对面，就是搬下能好打我们的吧，就这样。SG 打的挺好的吧，就感觉他第3盘可能就是阵容有点折吧，打到后面不好打我们，然后就这样。都可以吧，我觉得我发的挺好的，他发也挺好的。好的。